Of course, I turned this thing on just in time to catch some sirens in the background. That's the kind of day it's gonna be. How's everybody doing? For those who haven't caught on, I am uploading or live streaming, either or, every day. No exceptions, no excuses. All right. So, for those of you who don't like me much, oh well. Also, keep watching. Keep watching. I appreciate it. All my haters. One hater in particular. Oh, by the way, this is for one of my clients. He was one of the viewers and interactors last time. Not last time, like maybe 2 or 3 streams ago. Okay. So I'm doing this for him. It's for this badass. Look at this. Now the colors are okay, but the character design, look at this. And I think it's a Hispanic character too. I don't know what country the character is going to be from, but I do mean to ask him if he's Puerto Rican, Dominican, Honduran, Ecuadorian, Nicaraguan, right? I need to know Mexican, right? Although Mexicans, I don't think they would grow hair like this, even though some of them are Afro Mexican, and so they could grow this sort of Killmonger style hair if they wanted to. But I don't think it's within their style to do so. I don't think they do that very much. No, I love the arm. You see the segmented cyborg arm here. It's kind of like a trope in the comic book world. Give me a second. Let me take a swig of this coconut water here. It's kind of a trope in comic book lore, right? That if you have a cyborg arm, it's basically an arm shaped like your other arm, but it has segmented cuts. You know what I mean? And it's a quick way to do it, and it looks great. It looks great. Look at the shadowing under here. The line work is very good in this. I like it a lot. Is that a pinata, star pinata back there? Maybe he's Mexican. Maybe he's Mexican. For a second, I thought these were. Yeah. I won't say what I thought they were. They look weird. Anyhow, he wants it to be sort of like Samurai Cyber Squad. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. I like the chin piece he's got going on there. But anyhow, what's everybody doing? What's everyone up to? How's everybody doing? I hope you guys have been aware of all the drama. With all this drama in these YouTube streets, it's kind of hard being BROTEP, right? All this drama going on YouTube. Give me a second. Hold on 1 minute. Who's on here? Latin splaining. Denise, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up, man? But
Everything
yeah,
good? How's the
yeah.
weekend going for you, bro?
Weekend's going great, man. The only thing is I woke up late because I was up really, really late doing a live stream. It went really well. Some other guests that I'm not used to came in, like
Mm-hmm.
Rakem Allah, not Mr. Trip. I forgot what his name is, but Mr. Something. But he was really knowledgeable.
Mr.
He was
Something.
Mr. Something, but he was really knowledgeable, and a woman named Q. Question now, right? And she usually goes to Chem 123's streams, but she came here. She came here, so I don't know, what that's about, but she came here and she was cordial. At first it was a little rocky because when she came through, she started talking. It started sounding very anti-black, and I'm like, the platform you're on, because she was like, black, black, we don't have nothing. I'm like, okay, all right, so go back on Kem's platform. He'll be he'll be elated.
Delighted. Yeah.
Yeah, delighted to have you. When you talk like that, like he's in the corner jacking off somewhere. Like, say it again, say it again. These black men ain't shit. Oh, that he's in the corner somewhere.
That will be his heaven.
Yeah, that's his Pornhub right there. That's his Pornhub. So I was like, go to Chem 123. Like, he'll be delighted. But it kind of worked out. Kind of worked out. We were all vibing towards the end. We found some common ground and we discussed stuff. We also discussed the Mercator map. For those of you who are just coming in who were not with us, if you guys were not with us yesterday, really late, let me say it's like 9 people. You know what? I'll wait until more people come in. All right, it's 11 people now. If you're just coming in, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, I need to go spread this link to that platform, right? Or platforms if you're on multiple. Tab rising, it's a thing. And you need to come back with a friend or two or 10, right? And if you enjoy this content of this channel, or you enjoy the artwork that I'm hiring some Latin American artists to draw, go ahead and hit that Cash App. Now, let me see. 13. Let me go check on these likes. Give me a second. 9 likes. I need 13 likes. Come on, people. It's 13 of you in here. Probably more at this point. So I need to see more than like 9 likes. What's going on in the comments section here? Culturally Hispanic says, how do you feel about young Pharaoh's views on Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris. Depending on which country you're from, Kamala is pronounced differently, right? So if you're from like Pakistan, it's Kamala. If you're from India, it's Kamala. Let me see here. How do you feel about the young Pharaoh's views on Kamala Harris? I don't know. You need to inform us more. Culturally Hispanic. Let us know what his views are on her. Then I can opine on it. People really come to thumbs down. Oh, I didn't even check the thumbs down. Hold on. Yeah, we already have 2 thumbs down. Well, I'm lucky that I didn't go in on race relations and Latinas going outside their race. That'd be like 80 thumbs down by now. You guys
Yeah.
should see the rage bait one that I did. How many thumbs down? I got to go back and count how many thumbs down it is now. But it was so rage inducing that OG Del Rancho came. Now I'm just gonna start calling him OG deranged. Like that shit. He came through and he just pretty much started personal attacks.
Yeah,
That's why
because that's
the
that's what he does. That's what he does.
well, that's why he's never won an argument.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he straight up look. He'll start by stating his argument. He'll start by stating his argument if he thinks that he's gonna win. And once you surmount all his little obstacles, right, all his little fallacies, all his little nonsense, then he's like, well, okay, well, your nose is stupid, right? Really childish things. So that's
Yeah,
why this
like
thumbnail. That's
calling
why I
us
did this
fat,
thumbnail.
for example. I'm like,
The who now?
okay. Like calling us fat, how he
Yeah,
was
like
like, oh, Indonesian radical are fat. And we're like, so, okay.
it means we're
We
making a lot of
thank
money off
you,
this YouTube
thank
shit.
you for the thank you for the
For the
for
obvious
service.
observation. He's
No,
Captain Obvious.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, if you didn't told me, I almost did not notice.
You know, my mirror is foggy, so I couldn't see myself this morning. I'm so
Yeah,
glad I have OG Del Rancho.
thank you, bro. Like
You know,
literally, like my mirror is from like a discount store. I could not see my body. Thank you very much.
you know,
It's just like kind of weird.
yeah. It's just a weirdo dudes. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
we're living in weirdo season. And I think, I'm gonna play Blood Moon But I'm gonna say why I'm wearing the blood moon because I told her the other day
Mm,
that there was a super moon, a super blue blood moon going. I
mm,
don't know if you guys catch it. It was really cool.
okay.
Here in California, we saw it like firsthand, and it was really nice. But they were saying that the super blood moon is bringing the best and the worst out of people.
Ooh, especially,
So
the moon pulls on tides, right? Pulls on water, and
yes.
a good portion of our brain is sitting in water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the brainstem, obviously, that's supported by all these other mechanisms in the skull, but like in the in whatever's going on in the skull, but a lot of it is sitting in water. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why lunacy is a thing, right? Remember, like
Yeah, yeah, the
mhm.
lunatics.
Yeah, that's crazy. That
It
might have
is.
that might when did the blood moon happen?
I believe it was Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. It was
I
Wednesday
gotta
or
check.
Thursday. But
Okay.
literally, oh my God.
Hmm.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Uh-oh, Pocho's on board. What's going on,
Woo!
Pocho?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you been? How you been?
Chilling, man,
Also,
chilling.
I wanna ask you something now that you're here because I do not know these
What's up?
things. Um, what's your channel about? Like, I'm not familiar with it.
My channel. Well, my channel's gone now, but
Really?
I'm thinking about creating. Yeah, yeah, it's completely gone. It could be because I uploaded a video, kind of reviewing some of my old content. Like I said in one of the live streams that I,
Mm,
that I was gonna do, and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube hit me for that because they thought that it was like hate speech, even though I literally say nothing hateful, but I just show people what I used to upload back in the day. But now that that's gone, I think I will create a new channel. Obviously, it's going to be a different message. It's no longer going to be the stuff that I used to upload. Um, and hopefully, I kind of my aim is towards more for like understanding kind of like the system of white supremacy out there, understanding the
mm,
history
Mm-hmm.
of like colonization, things like that. I'm looking towards more stuff like that. Uh, and other stuff too, like music videos or whatever that I might be doing in the future. That's kind of generally what I'm thinking towards. But it could
Okay.
change.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
yeah.
subscribe. Give me 1 second. It is called Posha Status. Drop a link. Drop
Uh,
a link.
Yep.
Drop a link
Drop a link.
in the
Drop a link
chat.
in the chat so that everyone who's here, we got something like 15, 20 people here. You need to go, and I need to see 20 subs over on Potro's statuses page. Yeah.
yeah, I'll drop a link. I'll drop a link.
Okay, please drop a link because I definitely want to subscribe.
Yeah.
And I always support other Latin people. Um, on what they do as long as they're coherent. Because Pocho, you know what's up. But I do want to support you, and um tomorrow I'm having a stream, so yeah, definitely. If you don't have the time to be there, it's gonna be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Like if you don't have time to be on the panel or anything, just drop by to drop the link so I can pin it and
Hmm.
people can go follow you. I mean, I only have 96 followers, so chill. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
people can go from my channel to yours. So
Yeah.
definitely drop the link tomorrow on my stream,
Okay.
and I can send more people to your channel.
Hey,
Man.
Bro Tep,
What's up?
did you see the message I sent you on Instagram, like private message?
Which one? Uh, like,
So the one,
give me a couple clues.
yeah.
Don't
So
know.
it's the one where it's like PragerU.
Oh, I didn't see that one. But
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out after. Because right now, basically, I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here.
Mhm.
Where a client's work is due, and I also needed to upload for the day. So I figure people can be talking while I draw, that sort of thing. So as soon as I'm done here,
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay,
go
okay.
check Instagram.
One thing I
Especially
will
since I'm
say,
sharing my screen, I don't want to put my private stuff on
yeah, one
from
thing I want
Instagram
to
on here.
say, I see 19 people watching. Like the video,
Yeah,
and if you're
thank you.
not subscribed, subscribe and also donate to BroTech. You guys
Yeah.
have to help me with my Cash App. My Cash App doesn't let me donate to anybody. I don't know why. Like it never goes through.
Mm.
I cannot like super chat you for some odd reason.
That's all right. You help in other ways anyhow. It's not a problem. You
Well,
see here.
anyway, I still wanted to make my donation. I have a complaint.
No, it's good, man. You good. Let me see here. But Pocho, I don't know if you caught the drama that's been going on lately on these
Mm,
YouTube streets, but you
yeah.
know,
I'm gonna
No,
tell you
yeah,
yeah,
like
something.
a radical Latino.
yeah. Were you there on the face reveal?
No, I wasn't. I couldn't. I was working.
Okay. Oh, you have a job better than
Yeah,
better than a
yeah.
lot
I'm
of
one
these
of those people.
YouTubers.
You
I'm one
have
of
a
those people, bro.
life. You have a life,
You have a
Pocho.
life. Pocho has a life. Damn you, Pocho.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you
I know.
did.
I know.
How dare
My
you?
horrible life.
You
How
said
dare
your
you
Herbalife?
have a life?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I saw the notification for it. It's just that at the time I was busy doing something at work, and I was like, okay, I can't do this here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, no, definitely. You would never have been able. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
I probably would have got fired that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That evening. You get fired that evening.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was not, yeah, it was not palatable, not safe for work. All right. I
Yeah,
mean,
Right, right.
definitely.
this
But
guy, lots of, I'm
something,
sorry, again.
something I wanted to say with the whole, like I said, the personal stuff. I think it increased. I mean, at this point, everybody knows what's up, but like, I think it increased with the super blood moon.
Hmm.
Um, but to be honest with you, like I said, it's how can I say it? It's crazy to see that, people are in this level of, their mental state is at this level.
Bang. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Because it's like I said, like everybody knows
Yo,
like the
it's
issues
it's
I've
what
been
you had said before, man. Mental health is so important.
I've
People
said
neglect
this.
it.
I've said this before. Come
Yep.
on now.
Yep.
Like I said, it's crazy because you see people looking for opportunity, literally seeking opportunities to disrespect people that
Hmm.
have different opinions. And what really is even sadder than that is the fact that we have people clapping and justifying them.
Mm.
And that is what's really even more disturbing because let me tell you something, bro, that when we do that kind of stuff, we have all been guilty of that to a certain degree in our
Mhm.
lives. But when we do that stuff and we clap for the circus, what we're doing is we're encouraging the circus to continue.
Mhm. Absolutely.
If and that's something that I have to say also to the audience. We love you guys and I appreciate you guys' support. Now I if I want to say something in this memorial long weekend and we're all chilling at home and stuff, um to be honest with you, we have to think more thoroughly how we clap for the circus
Yeah.
and when we actually have to call something out.
Yeah.
And from my own personal experience, something that has saddened me a little bit is the fact that, I've seen people that have messaged me, hey, hang on in there, this person was disrespectful for no reason.
Hmm.
Things could have been talking over instead of just going overboard and a lot of opinions. However, what I see is that we also have a selected group of people that is also encouraging the nasty behavior.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
it's something that it's like I said, it's not it doesn't offend us. I want people to understand it doesn't offend us because we knew walking into YouTube we were going to be, exposed to negatives and positives. Now, what I see is like you expect from the majority of people to actually condemn nasty behavior so that we can continue to have fun,
Yeah,
and that's my 2 cents on that.
man, listen, it's it's getting kind of crazy out here where people they it's like they forgot their home training when their mom, would give them certain lessons,
Hmm.
or their dad, like, hey, don't say mean things to people. Don't be disrespectful. Treat others how you want to be treated. Don't do unto others what you would not have them what you would have them not do unto you. All these sorts of things, and they forget all these lessons because hey, it's YouTube. That's what when Fighter said. This YouTube, man. It's YouTube. Yeah, okay, but we're still human beings, and we still have basically responsibilities to behave as human beings.
Of course.
Hold on, someone's popping up. Give me a
Not
second.
only not only that, it's the fact that, like I said before, it's like you see the lies being said just to justify immature and disturbing behavior, you
Mm,
know and that's, like I said, it's like if you don't like the fact that people will say certain things, then don't subscribe to the wave, if that's, because I want to see. I've only called one person a name that he threw at me. It's the same thing. I give what I
mm,
get, you know and after that, like I said, you know what, I felt kind of bad because that person ingested gasoline, and I said, you know what, I shouldn't have done that. And I've said it, I think I've said it on like many streams after that. I should have never crossed the line because I had to understand his capacity. And after that, I have never come for him. And I know it sounds funny, but like I said, we should not, he has a pass.
yeah,
Mm.
I mean
My
he's
opinion.
getting better. That Pocho, man, you got swole. What's going on?
Yo, what's up? Whoa.
You,
Oh
you,
yeah,
you
you're
been
talking about the
working out?
picture there? No, dude, that's not me. I wish though. That would be pretty sick. You know?
Oh god, Pocho,
Imagine no, imagine like an 18-year-old just walking around looking like that.
yeah. Oh.
Like, oh,
Oh god, but yeah. Truth teacher, what's going on, players?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
All
Truth.
right.
True.
I
What you
think
been
it
up
was.
to?
Hold hold on. Damn, y'all can't hear me?
Yes, we
no, we
Yeah,
can
can
we
hear
can
hear
you
hear you.
just
We
you.
can hear
fine.
you. We can hear you.
Yeah,
We hear you
we can hear you
perfectly.
just fine.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna show my face for a second, cause
Yay! Oh my
He's
god,
got.
I
He still
want
got the
I
forehead,
want the
bro.
forehead
Whoa,
primer.
whoa.
He's
I
got the
Bro,
forehead.
literally I
Go
literally
ahead.
put $5 towards
it looks
my
like a storage.
forehead primer, because to be honest with you, I have a little bit of a storage in my forehead too. So I need it. I need it because I also have a huge forehead. I just have the advantage of makeup, but I need that.
I wanted to show up. I'm having a good hair day today, and I wanted to show off my fro.
Oh, okay, you want to
Oh,
show
Oh,
off?
okay. Look at you with
Hey,
the
so
wow.
with
bro,
the
tap.
forehead
You look
wonder
like a whole
bra.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
like a
but
whole Brazilian
it
up there.
was interesting with what Denise was saying, and
What's up?
you know, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I
Okay,
can. Sundown,
all
what's
right.
good, baby?
I'm hearing like a little
What
bit
up?
of
What
an
up?
echo.
Yo, yo, yo,
Yep,
Yo.
yep, yep.
yo. I just wanna ask Pocho status something. What was it that made you come around? Because like when you first came out, you said some crazy stuff.
Hmm.
Like what was it that made you like change your ways in a sense?
I was tapping my stick.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah. You were telling me your steak. No. 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 What made me change my ways was pretty simple. It was research. I started reading books like American Holocaust. I started reading books like Imperial of the Third Ways and things like that. And the reason why these books are important is because you know the Spain worship that I was kind of getting into back in the day. and when I say back in the day, it was only like a month ago or so. I had this false narrative that, okay, well, the reason why we even exist is because of Spain, and Spain's the fatherland and things like that. And then I come to realize, well, actually, not really, because Spain still to this day still controls Latin American resources, right? People like Denise know about that. And
Yeah.
historically, they have colonized us very brutally. And there's no reason why we need to be so, uh, you know, almost like in the knees worshiping Spain, like they're our daddies or something like that, because we're not Spanish ourselves. Our culture is a mixture of mainly indigenous, African, and of course Spanish roots under a Latin banner, and we're not like the Spanish people over there in Western Europe. So then researching these things, I started understanding, well, okay, we're not Spanish. We really don't have anything to do with Western European culture. And if we're under this dominion from these oligarchs, well, what makes me think that other people who are also non-white, like Africans and others who have troubles in their countries, what makes me think that they're not going through the same struggles that we're going through? And then that's when I started thinking logically about this whole anti-black stuff. I'm like, is there really a necessity to be anti-black when really we're all dealing with the same enemy here? We all have a common enemy, and there's no reason to always go at each other back and forth, for minor things that honestly have no importance. We're fighting for crumbs when we fight for things like representations or whatever. That's not really what's important at the end of the day, because we're all fucked up either way. So logical experiences like that, logical thinking is kind of what made me turn away from the dumb, unintellectual Chivo camp, and that's where I'm
Oh
at
my
today.
God, you're going harder than us.
Yeah.
No, but
I was just
seriously,
curious.
Yeah.
Yo, but I just
Go
dropped
ahead,
by. I
Sam.
just dropped by to say, yo, today I hit 16 years, so I got 3.5 more years to go till I can retire. I'm fucking happy. Almost
Thank
there.
you.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
thank you
Almost
for your
there.
service, Sundown.
Yeah, thank you for your service, bro.
Thank you
You don't
so
have to
much
say
for
that.
your
You don't have to say that.
service.
That's annoying. That's annoying. Stop saying
No,
that.
but seriously, no. In all seriousness, thank you, because let me tell you something. You could have been doing your own thing, and what you're sacrificing
Mhm.
for the interest to keep the interest of a country that's keeping us, in order to a degree,
Hmm.
of course. You're sacrificing something that has its own
Yo,
value.
Yo.
going on, guys?
So, like, really,
There you go.
really, like, I want you to know that we appreciate that sacrifice. Even though
Yeah.
Yo.
America doesn't treat you properly.
Wait.
Mhm.
What
Uh,
sacrifice? Wait. What sacrifice?
His time, his year, his youth.
The sun, the
His
sun,
Military, military,
the sun,
Yeah,
military
he's got
service.
he's got like 3 years to
today I hit
go.
16. Yeah, today I
the,
hit
the
16.
sundown, like take out a prime minister of a country.
No, nah, nah, nah.
But imagine.
Just that
Yep.
I just got 3 more years. Like my mom retired, my dad retired, my sister's
Mm.
retired, and I got 3 years till I retire, and then my little brother is in, and he's got a ways before he retires, but it's getting closer. So
Cool,
crazy.
cool. Yeah.
Yo, rad.
Uh,
I was thinking, bro. This kind of goes with what I was talking about with Brotep. You heard of PragerU, right?
If I heard of what?
PragerU.
It sounds familiar. Isn't it sounds familiar? Why?
Yeah, so it's basically like this neoconservative American like propaganda channel on YouTube. I think his name is Devin Prager or something like that. All these people,
Okay.
these conservative outlets, yeah, they all talk and spread their propaganda. Guess what they have now? Just guess.
What they have now?
Yeah, their new thing on YouTube.
They have a soul finally.
No,
A
they
conscience.
have a
Morals.
no, it's actually the exact opposite of that. They have a propaganda. They have a propaganda channel meant for kids, for preschoolers, where they
Oh.
literally display. They
Wow.
literally, yes, I kid you not. They literally have an animation team where they make cartoons for like kids, like kids, like preschoolers, and they try
Wow.
to spread overt, not even secret. Like they're not even good at writing. They spread overt political propaganda about like Reagan and like 80s conservatism down the mouths of children.
Wow.
And it's not even funny. It's not funny, bro. So I sent you one of their videos that they uploaded like a week ago.
All
And
right.
in my head, of course, I was like, damn, we should, me, Brotep, Rad, Truth Teacher, everybody, we should kind of just play this video. It's like a short 7-minute cartoon and just kind of laugh at it and deconstruct the stupidness and the bullshit that they're trying to promote here. And because it's very cringe, and just kind of like review it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I sent Brotep.
Oh shit! I think that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yep. In fact, that should be the next live. We should in the next live. You break
Yeah,
that down.
we should do that, dude.
Yo, fucking not ragu sauce, right?
But,
In PR eating good.
the Rad, you did the face reveal already. I thought you were gonna stop using the cartoon avatar.
That's funny. Ain't never gonna stop.
He looked just like I don't know why he bothered with the face reveal. He looked just like the cartoon avatar.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
man.
think you're more. I
Same
think you're more
goatee, same glasses, same hat.
The thing is, like when people were like always, cam up, you're hiding your face. Like I always
Yeah.
like, well, my
Yeah,
emoji looks like me, so
Look, they were expecting you to be white. They were expecting fucking Logan Paul or some shit. You know?
Yeah. even though
You're like,
You know what it is, Rad?
all along.
bro, these guys were literally saying that you took a tan or something, bro. Like you
Yeah.
waited for days in Puerto Rico just to get that tan.
To get that
Can you
tan,
believe that?
so that you don't
Right.
look white. He's a whole white boy.
Dude, listen, if I really wanted to be dark, bro, it's not that fucking. I could have went and got that little melatonin bullshit, spent
Mhm.
$1,000,
$1,500 and came out looking like Truth Teacher, bro. For what? For what? I'm not gonna do none of that.
Yeah.
Shit. Stupid. It's dumb.
No, I'm pretty sure you. Yeah, no, and for what? It's like just to prove you're not white. It's like it's ridiculous.
Check this out. When I come back and people see me in different streams and stuff, they're gonna see the same color, bro. It's stupid. It's retarded. That's what it is. A lot of these people were not curving my talking points. They were just going into personal attacks.
Yes.
Oh, he's thinking like that. He must be white. What?
Mhm.
Oh, he's thinking like that. He must be a white Latino. Like so.
No, they said, bro.
You're
There
a
was this
white
one
lib.
guy in
You're a
the
white
comment section. Yeah. No, there was this one guy in the comment section who was like, "Oh, why are you East Coast Hispanics like this? Must be all the hip hop music."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
I was expecting Rat to look like Fat Joe. That's funny.
Anything to avoid addressing the arguments.
You can't run from a tan in the Caribbean. Look at that. That's funny. But
Hey, Rad, you're not fat. You're fluffy.
I'm fluffy, bro.
You know where that comes from. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
Add me on the fluffy status. I'm fluffy. I'm not fat.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You officially have the fluffy status.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
tomorrow I'm gonna go scuba diving and shit. So I'm probably
Radico's gonna be swimming with the sharks.
yeah. They're probably gonna take a bite off my ass. They're like, ooh, a pig.
He's fluffy. They're gonna
a
just
nice juicy seal.
They're gonna
Exactly.
get just
Yum,
one
yum.
bite. They're gonna have just one bite and be full.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh shit, a light-skinned seal. I'm gonna get street harassed. Actually, the sharks are gonna street harass me. They're going like, "Hey, light skin,
Where you going?
Come here, light skin, come here."
Look at this fluffy. Look at this. All this
Come
fluffy.
here, light skin.
Come here, light skin.
I'm gonna be in the water. I'm like, no, stop, stop it. Oh
My fluff status
you
is
gonna look like that
fine.
girl in Bitcoin's video.
I can't just walk with my shorts. You have to street harass me, or the shark is gonna be like, light skin, come here, light skin. come in.
You're like, I'm not a piece of meat. And the shark's
I'm
like,
not a
well,
piece of
actually.
meat. Hey, yo, light skin. Come
Listen,
here.
just be careful of the. You don't see any killer whales. They like to
Oh,
play
boy.
with their food.
Yeah, you play with that food,
That
man.
is true, but you will see them
Mhm.
more in Rincon and Aguadilla. That's the
The killer whales are
full-time
gonna be
part.
like, hey, light skin, come here, light skin.
All of them, too. Even the killer whales
Yeah,
are saying
I'm
that
like,
shit.
oh my god, no.
You know, it's funny that we're talking about sharks and killer whales because like last night I literally had a dream that I was like in the ocean. I was just swimming, right? And there was a
Yeah.
great white. There were two great white sharks that ate me.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
That's white
Right.
supremacy.
You know
That
what
was
that
white
means?
supremacy.
You know
Yeah,
what that
you know what that represents?
let's break it down.
One
What?
shark is OG Del Rancho, the other shark is
It's
Shivo
Chivo.
2121.
Oh shit! And they're eating me alive.
And they're eating you
Yeah.
alive after you're a race trader. You're Vende
They wanna
Patria
chunk.
now.
They wanna chunk.
Right. I'm a
Pocho.
race trader.
They wanna chunk Pocho. Give it to
Yeah,
them.
they want chum.
Mosquitoes, the mosquitoes are not a problem over here. They haven't been a crazy issue for me. For
Oh,
some,
we got to send you where they are.
Yeah,
We gotta send you
definitely.
where they are.
You're definitely in the city. You're definitely in the city because let me tell you something. I was raised in the mountains of Caguas. And to be honest with you, mosquitoes there will literally carry you to places.
Wow. Wow.
Literally, you have to have off
all I
handy.
know is that I saw the biggest cookie I've ever saw, like some shit like this.
Wow.
Really? They get that big?
Tell me you threw salt
That's
on
what
him.
she said.
No, I
Tell
did.
me.
I didn't.
That's mean. Don't do that.
I do that. I do that because this is the thing, truth. If they mess, I don't mess with them if they're in their own habitat. If they come to my habitat, aka my house, I will pour a lot of salt on their shit. Die, motherfucker.
Yo.
Yo, this one was like this, and it looked at me, and I looked at it, and I'm like, "What up?"
With those big ass eyes.
Listen, this cookie must be getting a lot of protein because that dude was frolic. I was like, all right.
He got into some of your shakes from your luggage, yo.
That was also white supremacy coming at you.
Oh, it was like, oh yeah, did you post the one where you tried to radicalize the lizard?
Yeah.
That was hilarious, bro.
Oh god.
Look, culturally Hispanic said Palo Santo is good to repel them. That is true. We put Bacardi, rum Bacardi, and that repels mosquitoes, like in your skin. But you will get kind of like tipsy, I would say, if you put a lot on you.
Yeah, I mean, the skin absorbs stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, he's right. Like it's good to repel them.
These rednecks were doing stuff when I was over in Georgia. They were soaking because someone told them they shouldn't drink, like, so they soaked
Stop drinking
tampons
that
in
moonshine.
alcohol. No, they soaked tampons in alcohol and shoved it up their ass. Apparently that's a thing. So that way you don't see them with a bottle, but they're getting drunk.
You've got to be fucking kidding.
Look, man.
Oh, so the alcohol enters through the other way? Like that's how they do it?
Oh yeah. In fact, you get I mean it gets absorbed into your bloodstream even faster through
Yeah, I've heard that it
that. So it is what it is.
The fuck out of here.
That was a thing.
Truth, you didn't know that alcohol. You didn't know that alcohol could enter through that way and actually be more effective.
No.
Why do you think people bathe in beer, like beer, in their bathtubs or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and things like I don't know what do they call them, suppositories or whatever. There are people who
people
insert stuff there.
People bathe in beer to get drunk.
I want to answer.
Well, yeah, your pores absorb it and your butt absorbs it.
I want to answer Michelle's comment. She said,
I thought that was how you get rid of brujeria.
Didn't you say that there was a protest going on in Puerto Rico?
There's?
No, there was a while, like a couple of weeks back. There's nothing going on here, but I've been trying to get in contact with some of the local activists, but for some reason they aren't reaching back out. So I don't know. I don't know.
Keep trying, man. Rad making connections. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Hell yeah, bro.
the island,
That's how it is. You know.
bridge the island gap.
Hold on, someone else trying to get up on here, so I have to.
Hey, while you're down there, why don't you take a hop over to DR and hang out with Macho? You know,
Or Shivo 2121.
you can radicalize him.
You can definitely get a ferry from Puerto Rico to the DR, and you'll be there in a few hours, and you'll be either like get like a little camarote or something where you can rest a little bit, and you'll be in the DR in no time.
My two best friends.
Yeah, listen. Before you go, make sure you pack a lot of tacos.
What?
God. You get that? Listen.
The last protest was about the femicide that was happening in Puerto Rico. That's what the last protest was about.
Yeah.
Damn, when you put it like that, femicide.
They're not gonna like you, radical. You're speaking ill about Latino men. You know, the untouchable males will come for you.
Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe they'll accept it more from him than if I said anything, because you saw my rage bait that mentioned femicide.
Look,
that something like 80 dislikes or something like that, and like 14 likes.
Oh yeah,
look at this. They won't take it
Yeah.
from me because they'll say you're a woman hater that's married to an African American man. Then they won't take it from you because you're a Haitian Hispano hater. Then they won't take it from Pocho because Pocho is like a crazy person that came from their space and now is dissing them. And then they won't take it from Truth because he's a Jamaican megamind. And then they won't take it from Radical because Radical is fat. You see, the rhetoric keeps on changing. Nobody can call them out. Nobody can call them out. Definitely, they're untouchable.
They're special. I just saw that Cam made a new video about me like a couple of days ago, and you know it's funny because
that's right. I gave him all the information. That's right.
Listen, you were a little late because I gave him plenty of information over the years. But you know, it's really funny that they never talk about the issues that you raise, but they come at you. You know, and they accuse you of being something that you're not. And it's funny because Kim knows me better out of all of these assholes. Kim knows me the best. And he knows my code of ethics. He knows my philosophy, you know, my life philosophy. And, you know, people like, why are you there with these people? Listen, I believe, well, I still do believe it. I believe that, you know, you have to become the change that you want to see.
We believe in God the Father. We believe.
So, you know, that's why I would engage with these people, because I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see. And when I apologized to Dom Ren and Chivo for all the insults and stuff, I was trying to be the change that I wanted to, you know, to see. But I've learned, and you know, all of this stuff has been a great learning experience. I've learned that there's some people that you just can't get through to them because they're so invested in their hatred and their sadness and their pain that there's nothing you can do that's going to make a change, because it gets to the point where that's their identity. You know, and let's just think about this for a second. Somebody like Kim, if Kim was supposed to have an epiphany, right?
Yeah.
That all of this shit that he's been doing, focusing on BBC all these years, that it's wrong, where would that leave him? He doesn't have a good family relationship. He doesn't have any real friends. The only thing he's got really is YouTube. And
Well,
he
we don't know if he doesn't have any real friends. I mean, he could.
But
No,
they
no,
were
no,
friends.
we
They were
know.
friends.
No, no, no.
we
We
know
know
for
him
a fact.
personally. We know him personally, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, you know him personally?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they were
Oh shit!
friends with him, and that's something that I wanna address, like in my own situation. Um, it's like I said with the mental health thing. It goes back always to the same thing. Every road that they take goes back to they crash in the same wall. It's mental health truth.
Yeah, it is.
We're dealing with people that don't understand that the same way you go to the doctor to have your animals check up, and the same way you go and check for your heart, your lungs, and whatnot, you have to go and check in for your brain, because the way you assess other people can be damaging and also
Yep.
scaring.
Yep.
So, when you have people like this, like take my example for it, I came out to, defend one of my friends, or the people that I consider my friend, because I respect him, and, I value his opinion and his wisdom. And look at what I was thrown with, you know. What was thrown at me was like the most disgusting display of, low or very mental health and decay for no reason. Because if you go back to watch, I asked directly, where were you disrespected? And I explained what I meant, and I still got hit with shit. So it's like
Wow.
I said, it goes like, if you go back to Bro Tap's stream, you will see that I explained. I asked him directly, where did I disrespect you? And then I explained what I meant, and I still got disrespected, because these people in reality are just looking for excuses to, pour into you their, probably the way they feel about the world, you
Yeah.
know?
And you see, and that's a very crucial point because something that I realized with Kem, he's a bottom feeder. He looks for. mean, it sounds fucked up to say that, but I'm not saying that to be like vicious, right? Kem looks for everything that's really twisted and ugly in the world, and that's what he focuses on. So all of this shit, he goes to these live streams with these traveling men, and he will sit there and watch this shit for hours and hours and hours on end. And if there's anything,
Probably jacking off too.
probably, that's what he
Yeah.
looks for. So I forgot my train of thought.
Is that
You know,
age? Is that age, man? Is that age?
listen,
But
listen. It was a rainy day today. My forehead didn't get that solar energy. You know, the thing
it's one
about
of the
it,
solar panels.
yeah.
But that-
Oh, I remember now. I remember now. So the thing is, he's got a very dark and twisted perspective on the world and on people. And what they want when they see people who are doing their best to make the world a better place in whatever way that they can, they got to do one or two things. They either got to try to bring you to join them in the darkness with them, or they got to try to dim your light.
The darkness.
So, yeah, so Kim, I gave him my friendship because I was hoping that I could pull him out of the darkness. He gave me his friendship because he wanted me to join him in the darkness. And now that it's become clear that I'm not going to join you there, now he's trying to dim the light. So he's making all of these personal attacks against me and, all of this shit, accusing me of doing all of these things when, and being obsessed with Dumren, when in fact, he was obsessed like hell with Chivo when him and Chivo had their disagreement. And this dude, for like 2 years, would call me up. Well, definitely the summer of 2018 would call me up every day to talk about Antonio for hours. And
Wow.
Antonio's not white, and all this shit he's talking about Spain is bullshit because Spain is broke, blah blah blah. They only care
Spain is broke.
about, yeah, all of this shit. Then
You
he
know,
called,
you know what's interesting. I'm sorry to interrupt. Just a quick comment before I forget. What's interesting about all these Hispanista guys is that I've talked with some of them, and they said that, oh well, Spain nowadays is liberal, and it's this, that, and the other, and we don't really want to unite all Latin America under Spain. No, but we believe that all Hispano countries, that's what they like to call us, should unite, and Spain should be a part of that. And the reason why right, the reason why that's disingenuous is because if you look at the economies of Central America, of a lot of Caribbean, like Cuba, for example, and then of course the South American countries that are Spanish speaking, we don't really have a lot compared to what Spain has. So if Spain is a part of our new empire here, it's kind of obvious that they're going to be the ones with their connections with the EU and all this type of stuff, their centralized government. They're going to be the ones that are calling a lot of the shots. They're going to be like a very powerful economic bloc in this new imagined empire that they want to achieve. And in a way, that kind of does become like being under Spain. You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody understand what I'm trying to get at, or am I just speaking gibberish?
No, no, no. I get
I
it.
get it. I get it.
definitely
No, we got you.
a soft colonialization. But
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
so the thing with Cam,
What I feel like what we need to be under is, this new divestment. You know what I mean? We gotta divest. Let me stop, let me stop, let me stop.
like, like,
Gotta divest, brother. Gotta
Yeah.
divest.
We gotta divest, yo. We gotta-
like what I was saying, going back to what I was saying before.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
This dude would be calling me up every day asking me, yo, the section in Jersey City where Antonio came from, was this a high income area? It's like he was so obsessed with Antonio, and
Wait, he looking to date him? What's going on over here?
he wanted to know. Listen, I took
No. So what Kim does is he pretends like he's been everywhere in America, right?
Yeah.
When you talking to him personally, you just tell him like, oh yeah, or he asks you, what part of the Bronx or whatever the case is, and you give a location, he'll Google map it and say, oh yeah, I've been there too. It's right next to the bodega that's called Los Tres Amigos, right, or something. And the thing is, he will do that in order to get your confidence. The funny thing is, I knew he was Google mapping the shit when I would talk to him, and he did the same.
Really?
Yeah, no, I called him out during the conversation because
Oh shit!
when he did that with me, he goes like,
Oh shit!
"Oh yeah, it's right next to the home, that little home market. No, the home improvement mom and pop shop, right?" And I'm like, it was there 3 years ago, but
he got that Google that Google truck that goes around.
yeah, like Google, I said it was there 3 years ago. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna be Google mapping places, don't
Get
don't
that
act
current
like.
shit.
So no, I called him out. I called him out on it, and he just he didn't like really respond or anything like that. So
Wow.
I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And even when he made that video praising Antonio, even made it more evident because he called Fordham Road Fordham Road, and he even said that Fordham is a largely Latino area, which is bullshit. If anybody knows Fordham Road, it's black and Latin. It's a huge black and Latin area, which connects to Washington Heights. So, that really shows his ignorance in what he was talking about.
Yeah, that's why I went up there. I made 3 videos to show what the area really is, But, the thing is that he was so obsessed with Antonio, and to the point where I went to like the old street where Antonio used to live in Jersey, because I used to pass it all the time. and I sent him pictures. So I got the receipts. He doesn't realize I got the receipts for all of this shit. But now, like I said, because I wouldn't join him in the darkness, now he's got to assassinate my character. But before, when we were friends, I was a great guy. I was Gandalf the Great. But now I'm a bitch ass. you know? And it's just funny because it just shows you that these people out here, man, they don't care about the truth. They don't care about making the world a better place or anything like that. They're just out here venting their own pain and their own issues. And
I
that's
have a
all.
question. Does Cam? I'm sorry to interrupt again, Truth, but it's actually related to the topic. Does Cam have a history of like being on 4chan or like coming from any type of like white supremacist type sympathizing community or something like that, or did he just
No,
kind of pop out of nowhere?
I don't think he does because the truth about Kim, listen, here's the thing with Kim. Kim really hates everybody. That's the simple truth. But
Mm.
out of all of the groups of people that he really resents, the only ones that gave him like the amount of attention that he wanted were, the BBC traveling community. So it's like, you
Are you
throw
Wow.
shit
serious?
at a wall.
Wow.
It's like a
Alas.
kid that throws shit at a wall and all kind of different things at a wall until he finds the thing that sticks. BBC is what stuck.
Hmm.
So that's why he's focused on that one thing. But honestly, he's angry at the whole world. That's the fact of the matter. That's the truth of it. He's
I
angry at
wanna
everybody in the world.
I wanna share something, bro. Tip, if you allow me to share this screen.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. What's up?
I'm gonna share this. I don't know if you can see it. Um, it says when a toxic person can no longer control you, they will try to control how others see you. The
Yeah.
Yes, that's
misinformation,
true.
the misinformation will feel unfair, but stay above it, trusting that other people will eventually see the truth just like you did. And
Hmm.
that is
Yo,
something
can you send me
that
that?
Yo,
for
Can
sure
you
I
send
will
me
send
that,
it to you.
Denise?
Yeah,
Send that to me, man. I'm gonna use it
that
because
is
definitely.
facts with a capital F.
I'm gonna do a
Holy
couple
shit.
of videos just to address this shit, and
So,
then I'm
so
gonna
you
do
mean to
one
tell
big
me
thing.
when my ex called me a cheater, she was the real cheater? Hmm.
No,
No, but
Rad, you
for more,
actually cheated.
yeah, you actually cheated.
Oh,
But no,
oh.
look, the thing is
I
that
was I, I was just
look,
telling her a secret with my pee pee.
usually look, the way
Oh
I see it,
god.
the way I see it is this. You are who you are. And when you're confident in your own identity, you have to see toxic people like this. Normal people, when they have a disagreement or a difference, they will like literally tell you, hey, I wish you would have done this different, and that made me feel hurt. And they will create a space for you to either apologize or be an asshole and not apologize.
Mhm.
Now, you know, toxic people will go around and start spreading lies about you so that people cannot see how awesome of a person you are, and so that they can have a prejudice over you. That's what toxic people do. That's the way, that's their sick way of saying I'm sorry or trying to cause any friction. And what they would do is that they would tell people lies about you and misinformation so that people can say, hey, no, this person told me that, through teacher is this way or that way. And so that they can stay away from you. But in reality, is their own, lack of social skills to actually have a normal conversation and say what offended them. And you have to literally just stay away from it so that others can see when that person is toxic to them, because toxic people cannot help but be toxic to everybody they encounter. It's not just you. And that's the first thing you have to accept. And when other people experience their toxicity, they will then come back to you and say, hey, what did this person did to you, because this is what they did to me. And like I said, it eventually will happen. You just have to stand your ground and not even care about it. Just, speak to others about, how you feel, or, things that can be done. But other than that, don't even try to address the person, because like I said, if that person will have the best intention to actually solve issues, they will come to you and say, hey, how can we fix this, because it hurt me. And he
Exactly.
hasn't done that. So you just have
Yep.
to let him be him and keep moving forward.
And that's why the friendship really ended, because I mean, even though I was really disappointed in him,
Because of
because of you,
me.
you fucking home wrecker. Even though like
I came into the picture showing my thighs and all that. He couldn't
you
resist, yo.
thought breaking up our happy home, how could you?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm weak. But anyway, like even though I was really disappointed with the way he behaved, I really was concerned for him because his whole shit got doxxed. I mean, people knew where he fucking lived. And I was really concerned because he does have like kids living in the home with him. He doesn't live by himself. His whole family lives there, and it's not fair that his family's lives are turned upside down because of his bullshit. And furthermore, like I don't want to see the guy get hurt, you know? So, I left him, dude, like keep in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing. He's never responded to me. And that's when I realized, what? It is what it is, and I just got to let it go. Because he's an extremely toxic person. He's not taking responsibility for his actions. And the only way this can work is if I join him in his bullshit, and that's not going to happen because that's not who I am, and he knows that. Um, he's had more than enough. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it wasn't for me to give him a call and to work things out with him. He's the one that was gaslighting. He's the one that was being disingenuous by trying to create suspicion in my mind towards Rad and telling me not to trust him, blah blah blah. This
That's
is
right. So
you.
so Truth couldn't resist. I was like, little old me.
Well, you know how it is when you tell a kid not to do something.
It
Yeah.
sounds it sounds, if you don't mind me interrupting, sorry to interrupt you, true teacher, but it sounds to me like he's more into the, I mean, probably could be narcissistic traits
Oh
or
yeah,
narcissistic
absolutely,
personality disorder. Because when
absolutely.
we're dealing with people that are narcissistic, I don't know how familiar people in the chat or the panelists are with the narcissistic personality disorder. um but from what I have learned, basically we're talking about individuals that are like in excessive need for admiration,
Hmm.
and they have like major disregard for other people's feelings and an inability
Absolutely.
to handle any form of criticism, and also they have a sense of entitlement.
Hmm.
So if when you notice that people have those four traits, that person is a narcissist. And it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how you address them. You have to just release them into the world and stay away from them, because
Absolutely.
they would not change. There's no cure for narcissistic personality disorder. And even with therapy, it has been proven to not necessarily work. And people that, are basically their victims, usually just suffer devastating
Hmm.
consequences. So I would say what you're saying about Cam sounds just like a narcissistic person that
So
really,
so you're
and
saying so you're saying talking to that other girl in Six Flags wasn't a bad thing, right?
no, it wasn't.
Damn it.
Okay,
Damn it.
got
You're
got
entitled to that.
got
But
it, got it.
seriously, but seriously, not to, joking aside and everything, If you guys have not watched enough of or listened enough or read enough about narcissistic personality disorder, I would recommend you to do so, because oftentimes people that are good people, even parents can be narcissistic, bosses can be narcissistic,
Hmm.
so it's like I said, when you see the traits, don't necessarily mean that the person has the disorder, but the traits enough show that the person has not healed probably from narcissistic abuse. We never know, but in reality you don't want to be trying to rescue them, because they have to wake up and actually say, hey, something is wrong and I need to check myself into therapy, or either I have to do something about this. And until that happens, they will always address you in the same way and try to
Yeah.
devaluate you, because in reality, narcissistic people are people with like huge low self-esteem, and they're
Yep.
extremely insecure. So what they try
So,
to do is
so
overcompensate for that.
I have a question about narcissism. Is narcissism kind of like, in a way, sociopathy? Like, do they have a common relationship?
I would
I think they have
say
overlapping factors. They're not
no.
necessarily the same thing.
No,
Yeah.
sociopathic. Look, narcissist is a modern day. I will describe it like this, right? I'm not a psychiatrist, of course, but my mom's a shrink. But from what I've learned from her books and stuff, narcissistic people basically are the babies of psychopaths. Basically, it's like modern day psychopaths. Without having to
Hmm.
kill somebody, you kill somebody and still leave them alive, because that is their purpose. It's people that, how psychopaths, basically, when you see their psyche, it's like if your brain has a switch that is called empathy, and you flipped it over by extreme abuse and humiliation. That's what creates a psychopath. Now that psychopath can become a parent, and only 5% of psychopaths become serial killers. People think that psychopaths only kill people. No, only 5% of them do. So let's say they become a parent, and because they're so detached and they have no real emotions, and they just watch other people and obsess about other people's behaviors and then just imitate them, and they become great actors at imitating emotions, the kid often feels a detachment that they cannot pinpoint because they're still growing up. So what that creates is that they don't get necessarily the structure or the build up that they will need to actually face the world. So oftentimes these kids can get bullied, or they experience tough times and stuff like that. So when parents cannot comfort them because they don't recognize that due to their lack of empathy, what they create is a narcissistic person that will eventually go out in the world and will try to humiliate others to make themselves have an ego boost and feel superior. So at
Yep.
first, they will come to you and they will make you feel like you're the best thing that they could find. But then, as the relationship progress, either if it's a friendship, a boss coworker relationship, or a partnership, or a friendship, or your neighbor, you know, what you will do basically is that you will see that at first they will try to romance you and make you feel like you're the best thing in the world, and
Hmm.
then, like, as time progresses and the relationship goes further, they will start then criticizing every little thing you do and diminishing your character and then projecting onto others. For example, passive aggressive shit. Like, let's say tomorrow in an alternate universe I'm in a relationship with somebody that's narcissistic, and they will
Excuse
Hmm.
me.
say something when we're in a public setting. I'm explaining something and they come like, oh, she's just, she's so creative and so dumb sometimes, but forgive her. Basically, I mean, the people
Oh, okay. So
laugh.
little jabs at you. Okay.
Yes, it's like this passive aggressive behavior, basically, but in reality is taking away from your soul. Also, they will gaslight you into doubting yourself. If you have ever found yourself in a relationship with anybody, it doesn't have to be romantic exclusively. Like, if you find yourself in a relationship with another individual that you constantly have to prove yourself or write down stuff or keep receipts, that means that that person is a pathological liar and could be connected to either narcissistic traits or narcissistic personality disorder. And what that person basically is doing to you is called gaslighting. I don't know how familiar you are with the movie Gaslight, but
Yeah. No, I've
basically,
seen it. I've seen it.
exactly, gaslighting is like the number one trick that narcissistic people use against you, which is making you believe that there's an alternate reality, that everybody's living in it and you're in a different reality and you're the crazy one. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
So yeah,
Sounds
it's
like
definitely.
MXPC, right, bro? Tep.
Yep.
And these people, like I said, they cannot be saved, they cannot be rescued. The only thing you can do, if you find, if I'm talking to somebody in the chat that feels like this, but um if you find yourself in a relationship that you always feel undermined, or in this position, the best thing you can do to escape it, in my personal opinion, and this is a disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, seek therapy, of course, but also try to, even though you know your worth in their eyes, try to devalue yourself. Yes, yes, I'm all those things, and try to run as fast as you can. Because there's no, oftentimes when we argue back and forth with narcissistic people, they drain you out of your energy, and
Yes.
that, chisels away from your
Mm.
soul. So it's not worth
Wow.
it. It's a really complex yet simple and predictable behavior once you get to know it.
Okay, narcissism. That's very interesting. Because I was under the impression that narcissism is just like kind of like an assholey behavior, where it's like somebody thinks that they're the best at everything, and they just kind of treat everybody like shit. But it seems like it's much more than just that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a new, I would say it's a, look, therapists right now, from what I have spoken with my mom like ago, therapists right now are trying to get that into the DSM. The DSM, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but like the
mhm.
DSM is basically like a book with all the pathologies of the brain. And because we have such a high population that is a narcissist or has narcissistic traits, they're trying to get that into the DSM so that they can address it properly. And Blood Moon, yes, Trump is a big narcissist. He's the
Yep.
biggest example of it. It's that sense of
Definitely.
entitlement. I'm entitled to this even if I didn't work for it. And there's different types of narcissism. We should definitely, do a broadcast um on this topic. I will shut up for now. But if
No, it's
any
fine.
one of you, because my channel is more about
No,
business,
it's interesting. It's not boring. I didn't know any about this stuff.
yeah, it's like I said, it's very complex, but simple at the same time. So like I said,
It's very recent that people have started really identifying what this is because, I mean, I'll tell you something. I was in a relationship for 20 years with somebody that was a textbook case narcissist. And I didn't, I didn't know what it was because nobody was talking about narcissism back then. And the mistake that I made is I thought that if I moved out and wasn't living with this person anymore, like she would change and the relationship would get better. And the thing that I came to realize was that was the biggest fucking mistake that I made. If you're dealing with a narcissist and you're in a relationship with a narcissist, once you leave,
Get out.
the biggest
Get out as soon as you can. Get out.
and
get
not
out.
only that, keep
Don't
in
walk,
mind.
run.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Run, because narcissistic people often uh do not like getting dumped. They are the dumper.
How dare you?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
dislike
Mm. Right. Yeah, they don't want to be the ones rejected.
exactly, because they cannot take it, because they are not trained in it, and it brings them back to their humiliation phase.
Hmm.
So, what I would say is, try to make them drop you if you want to make your life easier, by helping them in evaluating yourself, but hide from them that you're seeking therapy to rebuild yourself. And I would say there's cognitive behavioral therapy out there for people that are victims of narcissism. That is one of the best ways, the best therapies that you can have access to. But to be honest with you, the reason why narcissism has been spread around so much, in my personal opinion, is because of the fanatism in religion. When you look at religion per se, it tells you things that you have to be the bigger person, you have to put give the other cheek when people are
Oh yeah,
betraying you. You have to basically devaluate yourself in order for you to be a great Christian. So what that does is that it strips people from their sense of dignity, because you want to be the best Christian. You want to be the best child of the Lord. So you will try to comply and comply and comply, which is what a lot of people are walking away from religion nowadays, because you're like, Jesus, it's you ask for too much. I can't continue. And when that happens, basically people just walk away. But walking away is the beginning of a more uh crazy journey, because you have to then rebuild yourself from ground zero.
absolutely. Yep.
So it's really difficult, and then oftentimes, because so many people see you in a different light that the narcissistic person portray you in, you will be very alone. So I would say, you have to out cultural Hispanics say God did not create a religion. That is true. The problem is that God is being put in a commercial aspect with religion. I wish people will get to know whatever their God is more personally than through religion, because, like I said, religion is the number one breeder of narcissistic behavior, and it's been
Mm.
devastating. That's why we have so many people out there with narcissistic traits, and also they get
And do
back.
you think that anybody like in these YouTube streets, so to speak, are narcissists? Like,
Oh
I mean,
God,
I'm not going to name anybody specifically, but you know,
I have my sucks my
Chivo, OG
suspicion.
Del Rancho,
I have
Macho,
my suspicion.
well,
one two
not so much
three
Chivo, but yeah,
fighter.
I think OG kind of. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I think he kind of fits the definition of narcissism, if you ask me.
I don't know him that well. I have not had enough interactions with him to actually see if
Just look at
he
his behaviors, like online. Like he literally takes online like completely personally. Like he will attack you. Like he threatened radical Latino over an online discussion. You know, like I'm gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying when I see you. Like who does
oh
that?
wow.
Wow.
I did not know that, to be honest
Oh
with you.
yeah, yeah.
That is crazy. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I said, if he has those at least 4 to 5 traits, just run, because like I said, this is a virus bigger than C19.
oh
you
yeah,
know People you love can be narcissistic, and I'm speaking
oh
from my
yeah,
experience. And loving a narcissistic person is very painful. So once you get
absolutely.
yourself in therapy and you start realizing these things and you start reading and researching more about it, you will understand, hey, I've been exposed to this, and it's so devastating for the victims of narcissistic abuse
And you
that.
know what? That's the thing that really makes it hard to separate, right? When you actually love the person, when you have genuine love for that person, right?
Mhm.
It's hard to let go because you worry about their well-being. And for me, like I had to look back and like, why the hell was I stuck in that situation for so long? And it was because I genuinely loved her. But what I had to come to realize is that she didn't love me. Well, okay, let me put it to you this way. It's not that she didn't love me, but the love that she had wasn't big enough than her mental illness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I don't necessarily will say that narcissistic people cannot love, because we will have to get actually in their brain. I would say that their definition of love is not what we call love. You
Exactly.
know,
They have a very distorted image.
it's like,
Or
What
for
would
very
be
example,
what would be their definition of love? Like, what would be their definition?
um, okay, their love has an expiration date. Let's just
yeah.
say that. You know, they love the idea of, becoming this necessity in you and actually absorb some of your personality for themselves. And when you're not longer in use for them, or a benefit for them, then they will then stop, quote unquote, loving you. So
Mhm.
it's like, for example, narcissistic people look at love like this: stand in front of your vanity mirror, or like your bathroom mirror, and grab a glass of water, throw it at it, and you will see the image distorted, right? That is the way narcissistic people look at love. That's love for them. For us, is the regular mirror. For them, is with the water,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
And
Wow.
like, with my situation, everything that you said describing the narcissist is textbook case of what happened with me. When we first met, it was the love bombing stage, and I was very young when I met her. And my family life was extremely chaotic. And she knew that. And the other thing about narcissists is they will deliberately seek out people who are emotionally hurt, or vulnerable. And then they'll sweep in, they'll give you love, they'll give you attention, they'll pretend, to be your friend or to be your champion, whatever. And that's how they get their hooks in you. So they
Yeah.
put on this face, and but as time goes on, that facade starts to crack. And in my case, it's like she had to be the center of attention for everything.
Yes,
And
that's
as my
narcissistic textbook.
yeah, and as my personality and my talent started to grow, she felt threatened by that. And then things started to change, and they make you feel like it's your fault, like like there's nothing you can do that's going to be pleasing with them, so they get you in a place where you feel like it was your fault. Well, if I had done that. And this is why they go after people who have a history of dysfunctional families or some kind of low self-esteem issue. And
If
back
you're
then
if
my
you're vulnerable,
self-esteem,
yes.
they look for vulnerable people, and back then my sense of self-esteem was very low, very low. And that's how she was able to get into me.
Yeah.
Now, as time went on and I started to develop, it got to a point where I even suppressed my own development because I didn't want her to feel rejected. And it wasn't until hindsight that I realized if she really loved me, she wouldn't have expected me to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she wouldn't have expected me to hold myself back so that she could shine. She would want to see me shine if she really loved me, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, back then nobody knew what narcissism was. Nobody was talking about it. You're just wondering like why is she such a bitch? And you stay in it and you stay in it until you can't handle it anymore. So I moved out. I got my own place. And I thought that that would help the relationship if we weren't like with each other all the time.
Yeah.
But
It's
it
it's
didn't. It didn't. That was the mistake that I made. I should have ran for the hills and kept going because it was that second wave when she was able to do the most damage to me.
Yeah.
When I heard what was going on behind my back and the way she was assassinating me, and sticking knives in my back, Yeah, I was like, holy shit. But when I did cut the cord, I cut the cord. And
And what
it was
Did
happened?
she, one question, did she came at you after that, like hard? Did she try to discredit
baby,
you?
yo. She went around to everyone in our social circle,
Mm-hmm.
talked dirt about me, like, personal
Yeah.
conversations, like personal messages and emails that I had written to her when we would have, like disagreements and I was trying to smooth things over. She
Mm-hmm.
literally went and made like, Xerox copies of the whole thing and sent it around to everybody that we knew. You see how
Mm.
crazy? I mean, she did everything to assassinate my character that she could think of. Everything.
Because that's, you don't live a narcissist, they live you. That's the way they see it.
And
And
she said,
I
listen,
would recommend you to read the book, Should I Stay or Should I Go? I've been watching Dr. Romani on YouTube for like a while
she's
now.
wonderful.
Yeah.
She is one. She's got it down pat. But
Yes.
the thing is, luckily, I was able to get out of it, and it took me years. Actually, it really took me years to heal from the emotional damage. To
Yeah,
the point
because
where I'm good now. And I don't even really think about her like that. But
because this is the thing, truth. Sometimes we know danger when we see it like firsthand. But the thing with
uh
narcissistic people is that they are experts at, you know, wooing you, at the beginning, and you
absolutely,
can't see it.
absolutely.
They're masters at this, and they have been mastering this for years and sometimes even decades. So after the
Mm.
wooing phase, that's when this small passive aggressive assessments start, so that
Hmm.
you can self doubt yourself. How do we notice this? It's very simple. You will notice that the person starts, becoming very, letting go of their normal routines, that stuff that they used to like to do. You will realize that, the person starts drifting away from friendships or not having the energy to actually do anything. They will stop pursuing their dreams. They will let go of their image, probably get into an addiction like smoking or drinking. Also, I would say, let go of their looks, their weight, a lot of stuff. And all these things, usually what society does is that it makes it worse for the victim. Because what we normally do is like, oh, stop smoking, it's bad for your health. How about we look into why the person is smoking? And
Hmm.
then they will say to the fat person, stop being fat, stop killing yourself. Diabetes will kill you, or cancer, or whatnot. But what I would say is, nobody that is in their right mindset will necessarily put harmful chemicals in their body willingly, knowing that they can die. The only
Yeah.
reason somebody can do that is because they actually probably are a dead man or a dead woman walking already emotionally, or because they're healing from some trauma. That's the only way you can actually explain why a person will keep putting food in their bodies knowing that they will get fat, myself included. And also why a person puts things like alcohol or cigarettes or drugs in their system. These people are actually victims, and that's also a mental illness. So it's like I say, everybody needs to get their mental state right, you know.
Well,
And like
what
Now
was
that
one
we have
of
20
me?
people in the room, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platforms, go ahead and spread a link to this video and to this channel. All right, guys.
One of the things that helped me to heal was realizing, and this is what, for anyone who's listening who finds yourself in this situation, the number one thing you have to recognize, it's not personal. It wasn't about you. These people, whatever it is that they did to you or said to you or the way they treated you, they will do it to anybody and everybody if they can get away with it. And once I realized that and I started to notice the pattern that this person, she would treat everybody in her sphere like shit. And I recognized, holy shit, this was never about me. I was just the only person that hung on long enough because I thought, well, what you said about that religious shit, that is part of it. But I hung in there the longest. That's it. But when I looked at, people who came into her life after that, they got the same treatment. The only thing is they jumped ship a lot faster than me. And that was one of the reasons why she was even more upset because I was her favorite shoe toy. She never had a shoe toy like me. I could beep, I could whistle, I had fancy lights, you know,
Yeah.
I had interesting I
Can
was her
I ask you
favorite
something?
shoe
Can
toy.
I ask you something? Did
Yeah.
the problem started, like, if you don't mind me asking, did the problems in your relationship started when you inserted even the minor criticism? Like, how would she take criticism from you?
Um. Okay. Let me think. The relationship really started to deteriorate when I moved in. When we moved in. Um. Like my situation was really hectic where I was, and I left home. So I said, "Oh, you could come here. You could come here." But the narcissist will offer you things because they want to look like the good person, right? But then
Yeah,
when
or
you
they can get
actually
something out of
fully,
you too.
when you actually take them up on it, it's like, oh shit, well, I didn't think you were really going to do that. I was just saying that, to so I could look good or I could look cool. And that's when all the little jabs started. And if I remember one time, so it wasn't even criticism, but it was like, like you said, at the heart of it, you got to recognize that these people have extremely low self-esteem. And there was one day where she had bought a new dress, and I told her how good, she looked in the dress, but she felt really bad because she had gained a lot of weight, and so she was feeling bad about herself because of it. And that one compliment turned into, no, I'm not, I look like a fat pig. And then it went from that to tearing me down, and she called me every dirty name in the book you could think of.
Everything but a child of the Lord.
Everything but a child of the Lord. And so it would be shit like that because the thing is, I would never, because of my upbringing and, that Christian values,
Okay.
I was always very careful not to say things to people that would hurt them, especially if they were people that I cared about. Like if I didn't care about you, fuck you. Like my tongue is like razor sharp, as a lot of people know. Uh, but
That's why I ask you, because often people with MPD,
mhm,
narcissistic personality disorder, what they demand is like an abnormal and very excessive, I would say, admiration from others, you know.
yeah,
And it's
but
usually it's usually more like laser focused on like their own fantasies of like being this grandiose person, this success, and
exactly,
how beautiful they are and stuff like that. And when they get either fat, or they get a scar or burn or whatever it is that affects their physical image, and it affects how others see him or her, they pay like super close attention to that. So when you don't give them the satisfaction or the admiration that they demand, oh, trust me, you're gonna pay for it.
You
You
know
know.
what? I just recognized something. The reason why she lashed out on me like that is because at that period of time when she was gaining more and more weight, I had started going to the gym. So as she was getting more and more out of shape, I was getting more and more in shape. And that was an
Yeah,
annoyance for her.
yeah,
Why are you
because
going to
she
the
needed
gym so much?
yeah, she needed to have the best body because let's say for example you were fat right next to her, she'll be like, well,
Mhm.
I'm not as fat as he is, you know.
Well, the
And
thing is, when she met me, I was underweight with a sunken chest and a sway back. I was really in bad shape. So now I'm going to the gym, like my body is getting more and more in shape. People are complimenting me, and she's getting out of shape. And I'm telling her, hey, let's go to the gym. And now she doesn't want to, she didn't want to do it. She would try to do, the quick fix, you know?
mhm.
And so she would, well, I'm not going to go into all of it, but, you know, she wanted to find alternative methods to getting in shape. And of course, it didn't work. So, she's feeling some type of way because she sees that I'm improving, in an area where she's not. And she's got to be the center of attention always, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with these people is like if you outshine them, they feel really, really threatened, and that starts to push their buttons. And that's when they'll start attacking you. If you show any kind of aptitude or any kind of areas where you excel, it makes them look bad. It makes them feel bad because they've got to be, they want to be worshipped. They have to be worshipped. They got
Yeah, they have to.
yeah, they got an ego bigger than the Empire State Building, but it's more fragile than an egg. I
I do.
mean, it's a trip. But what really helped me was recognizing the fact that she wasn't doing it because of me, if that makes any sense. This was her
Yeah,
personality, and she was going to do it to anybody, anybody that came into her sphere of influence. So once I recognized that, it allowed me to let go of the guilt that, well, maybe I didn't try hard enough to make this work. And I think
that's
that's what
that's
happens.
that's what a lot of people, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like that's what a lot of people find themselves in that spot of like, should I stay or should I go? And that's a
Exactly.
book that I recommend people to read, Should I Stay or Should I Go by Dr. Ramani. When she describes basically the four types of, you know, narcissism. You have the covert narcissist, which
Hmm.
basically hides it. It's like very closeted narcissism where, they'll throw little jabs at you, but still try to act cute at times. And they won't cause scenes or anything like that. There is the grandiose narcissist, that, these are people that actually have succeeded at certain things but
Yes.
still need that admiration and will not tolerate criticism. You have the communal, and the communal basically is a type of person like a politician, for example. Oh, like I'm doing all of this for the people in America. I'm their savior or something like that. And basically, it's just seek admiration through doing stuff for people. And also, you have the malignant, and the malignant narcissist is like the most extreme degree of narcissism because they're really cruel and very aggressive,
Yep.
and they're immersed in this paranoia and immoral behavior, almost as sadistic, I would say. And they love and enjoy creating chaos in your life and taking you down.
Hmm.
So, and also I want to add that narcissistic people actually know what they're doing to you. You know, don't think for a second that they are not aware of the pain they are causing. They are, they're conscious about this. They will never accept criticism. They will never accept that they are wrong, but they are fully aware of what they are putting through. They are putting you through. I'm sorry. It's just that they need it as oxygen to put you
Yeah,
Mm.
down, and actually they feed off of your misery basically.
they do. I mean, and I had to learn all the stuff that you're talking about. I had to learn it the hard way. But, for anyone out there, like I said before, if you're going through this, you need to get out of it, because these people are never going to change. There's nothing that you're going to do that's going to make it better. It's like a foot that's got gangrene. You can't save it. You have to just cut it off, because if you don't, it's going to poison you. The only way that you can survive around these people is if you completely stifle your own personality and your soul. That's the
If you
only
devalue
way.
if you devalue yourself,
That
when
exactly. That's
you
the
when you
only way you
allow
can survive.
then when you allow the devaluation, if that's your plan to escape, I admire you, you know but the devaluation of your own self is the only thing that will like put the narcissist away. However, if you're not in therapy and you're not working actively with a therapist, this can have devastating damages for you for years to come.
Hmm.
So I would say, if you're not going through narcissistic abuse right now by anybody else, and if you are, start going to therapy just to be aware of what's attracting narcissistic people and why you're unable
Exactly.
to block them from coming into your life, because they are very predatory and they know how to identify people that they can prey on. So I would say arm yourself with mental strength that will be like a ninja warrior for narcissistic predatory people.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, once you recognize the pattern, you will see it. You'll be able to spot it a mile away. But it's that initial getting to recognize it. And there's so many people in my social circle that have realized that they were in that cycle. And it's like, the thing about it is, when you finally realize what's going on, there's a period of adjustment, because you can't believe that this was your fucking life. You can't believe that you experienced this, or that, people can be so emotionally fucked up that they would,
So
it's just hard
conniving,
to wrap your head around it.
so
You know,
conniving.
yeah, because you, as a rational person, you would never treat somebody like that. So it's really hard to wrap your head around the fact that there are people out there who would do that kind of thing, that would behave in that kind of way.
Right, right. Yeah, like who has time for that type of thing?
Exactly. It's like, like, for example, a serial killer. Like, n- I would hope that nobody listening to this live stream can identify what it's like to be a serial killer. So when you encounter somebody like that, it's like your brain, you can't wrap your head around it, because it's so depraved. Like, why would you do that? But these people, they live outside of the boundary of normality and humanity and decency. And the thing is, like Denise was saying, there's a sliding scale. There's variations and degrees of sickness with these people. And you wonder, like, wow, that can't, you see it, and you're like, nah, that can't be what I'm seeing. And I think that's what traps people in these kind of relationships, because you see it and it's so fucking ridiculous that you can't accept that. No, that can't possibly be what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? So it's like you convince yourself, like, nah, this has to be this. Nah, I have to be this. I must be making you rationalize it. You rationalize the behavior that you're seeing, because you can't believe that anybody would be so fucking off the rails to do and say the kind of things that they're doing.
Hmm. But they do.
But they do. And so that's the thing. You have to be aware of the fact that, yes, monsters do exist. They're out there.
Right.
And
They're
they're
out
not in
there.
the closet. They're not in the closet.
They're not in the closet. Sometimes they're under the bed. They really are. you know. Listen, sometimes monsters are under the bed. And this is why it's so important that when people show you who they are the first time, you have to
Believe them.
you have to believe it. And that's the way we get trapped, because especially when it's a relationship, or a friendship, I think we create, we have a need in ourselves to have an interpersonal connection with people, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, whatever it is, we have that need that needs to be fulfilled. And then you meet this person and you build up in your mind this image of who you want them to be to fit that, that piece of your soul that's missing. It's like you want them to be the square peg to fit, that square hole inside of you. And you refuse to recognize the fact that, no, this is actually a cylinder. It's not going to fit. But you try to rationalize it and explain it away, you know, because you can't
A
accept the fact.
cylinder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
can't
and not
accept the
only
fact.
that, a lot of people are desperate to love.
Yeah,
We have to admit this in our society. A lot of people are desperate to love somebody and to also have that reciprocated. That
exactly.
when we get into these relationships with people, we often dismiss the red flags.
Yeah,
And
because we have
and
this romantic idea of what we want them to be, right?
yes, that's why, um with that being said, we have to stop the expectation and the idealizing of relationships with others, whether that be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a work relationship,
Hmm.
or a community relationship. You have to stop romanticizing relationships and having like expectations. People will give you what they want to give you, and eventually they will show their true colors, and you have to be watchful and willing to take action when you see it. Otherwise it will cost you. So I would say, people have to become more aware of how to spot this and actually act on it. I don't know if it's a good analogy, but it's like when the parent tells the toddler, hey, I will time you out if you keep hitting that because you can break it. And then the toddler keeps hitting it and you don't put them in timeout. They will understand that, your boundaries can be crossed. So they will continue until they break it. And then you complain, you don't understand, hey, why he broke this when I told him? Because you actually had to take action and give people what you promised. Hey, if you cross this boundary because I'm this person, I will not let you in my inner circle again. And you have to create some distance between you and the person doing this damage to you.
Absolutely. And that's why the first time when I left, I should have left and kept on going. Look, the Bible, I don't believe it's the word of God, and I don't think it's history, but I think that there's a lot of wisdom in it. But we're so busy trying to prove, certain of us, that this was actual real events, that we miss the meaning of it. It's there, those stories are there to teach us life lessons. And that story about Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot's wife, what did the angels tell them? When you leave Sodom and Gomorrah, do
Don't look
not
back.
look back. Because if you look back, you're going to die. And that's exactly the metaphor for dealing with a narcissist. When you live in Sodom and Gomorrah and you realize, you know what? This is a bad place to be and I got to get out. Leave and do not look back. And recognize the fact that you don't owe them anything. This is another trap. It's like people think that they owe them something. I owe you an explanation. I owe you, because
Right. Yeah, you don't owe them anything. Like who are they? Who are they?
exactly, you don't owe them anything, because even if you explain, they're not gonna get it. They lack the
Empathy.
capacity for empathy.
Yeah.
They don't
It's like
process it.
it's like now that you're using the Bible, um, we have a very clear example of what narcissism is. Actually, we have several, but I will just name two. The first one being Cain and Abel.
Mhm.
When Cain felt, that he was being done wrong by God by presenting what he felt was the greatest thing, not following the instructions because he thought that he knew better. That's a
Mhm.
sense of entitlement right there. And because his brother actually did what he was supposed to do, he felt entitled to take his life. Now,
Exactly.
if we go to Judas and Jesus, that's a very good example of narcissism, even though for the purposes of the Bible it served its purpose. But wasn't Judas the traitor that betrayed Jesus? Because if you think about it, Jesus knew what was going on. He was aware of the red flags, but he continued to entertain that relationship, and it ended up being, him being betrayed by Judas. So like I said, that's narcissism. Because if you look at the way that he was brought into the disciples and how Jesus treated him with fairness and kindness, and he still did not care. At first he made himself necessary and was wooing Jesus into a friendship, and eventually he sold Jesus for silver.
Mhm.
So he did not care what was going to be the result for him, if he was going to get killed or anything like that. He just sold him. That was it.
Yeah,
And
because he
he
didn't
only
live
cared
up
about
to his
himself.
expectation.
Exactly. So it's like I said, stop entertaining BS. If you see red flags, I'm sorry. If you see red flags, just either run, seek therapy because you will need some healing. And if you don't feel strong enough, try to talk to somebody that's only positive vibes. Surround yourself with people that would, highlight the good traits in you. And always, for God's sake, remember who the fuck you are. And
Yep.
don't let nobody tell you who you are. You know who you are. So, like I said, just have the courage to just at least, at the very least, remember who you are.
Absolutely. But it's really something, because it's very frightening in a way, because you recognize just how fucked up the world is, but
Well, now that we
that
have, hold on one second. Well, now that we have 20 people in here, wanted to actually ask around on a scale of 1 to 10, how many people here trust the media and government? How much do you trust them? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being very little, 0 being nothing at all, like none. And 10 being you completely trust them.
I would say for me, it would probably be 1.
Okay, so 1, so very little.
1. Yeah, very
Okay,
little.
I'm getting a few 1s. I've been getting. See, I'm starting to save some money because I want to buy a telescope, a really high yield telescope. Okay. Now I don't know if I'll have enough money to do it, but
Let me guess, you think
I
you're
need
this
to do
fat and
that.
you want to investigate.
No, it's not really that. It's that would be kind of funny, but no. Blood Moon trust them about halfway. Uh it's a big sky out there, right? And how many have heard the name Oumuamua yet?
mm, no.
If you heard of Oumuamua, say yes on the chat if you've heard of Oumuamua. If you haven't, go ahead and say no. Right? Oumuamua is supposed to be some sort of asteroid or comet or something that they don't know what it is. Supposedly, it was spotted in 2017, and it's supposed to have passed our sun. Our sun is called Sol, SOL, right? I mean, first things first, I can go on into why I don't trust them later, but we don't know where we live. Where you think you live, you don't actually live. We covered that yesterday in the other live stream. That the map, the world map that we think we know, it's not the real world map, right? The second thing is we don't know what this object is. They don't know what it is. It doesn't behave like an asteroid. They said that it is. And in 2017, they saw it, and it's been hurtling through space in our solar system. It went past the sun, and now it's gone. Supposedly, they said it's gone. But do you believe that? Do you believe it's gone? Because it doesn't behave like an asteroid. When it was supposed to slow down, it sped up. When it's supposed to speed up, it slowed down. So what is it? You know what I mean? And it's been bugging me that it's still here. It's still here, and they're not saying anything. You know what I mean? It's this is it, right? It's still here. Now, some other people said that it was a spaceship. That
I think I remember
it's
seeing
the
that in
first.
like a movie. Like a movie. It just
No,
so
no,
looks so familiar.
yeah, no. That's what do you call it? An interpretation of what it is based on telemetrics and all that stuff that they got back from the sensors. That's what it looks like,
Okay, I
right?
see. I see.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but they don't know what it is, but they're calling it Oumuamua. I think it's some sort of Polynesian word for stranger who visits suddenly, or some weird phrase that translates to Oumuamua. And it's because it's the first object that we're alive to see that is not from the solar system that's in it, right? So either way you look at it, it's a foreign object. And they said it's gone, but do you believe these people? Because everything they said about it was wrong, and they were either lying or wrong, right? And we're sitting here, and the stuff is still up there. And the brave people who
Well,
said that
maybe,
it
maybe.
might be a ship, the brave people that said it might be a ship, they silenced them. They were like, "Oh, don't be ridiculous." And these silencing tactics, they have three silencing tactics in terms of government, right? Especially in the Western Hemisphere. One is ridicule. Okay. If ridicule doesn't work, second, we move on to threats. Third, we move on to assassination. So it didn't get to threats or assassinations yet. Who's 7 Mile Eddie? 7 Mile Eddie, what's going on? What's going on, 7 Mile Eddie? Who are you?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Fuck you, nigga. You talk a bitch ass talk.
Okay.
Man, well, I tell you what, if you think that I'll call your house,
The fuck is that? That's cute. So the slow
Just
tap
stop
say here.
messing with his wife, bro. Tap.
Hold on 1 second. Let me. Hey, guys, get 7 Mile Eddie out of here.
Yo,
All right.
stop messing with his wife, bro. Tap.
Yeah, man. I
Bro
mean, if he had
Tap,
a
what are
problem with
you
it,
doing, Bro Tap?
well, he should have told me he had a problem with it. He ain't tell me. You feel me? Next time, voice your concerns earlier, sir. You sat there in the closet and watched us, right? And then now you're calling the show. Give me a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, I was just gonna say about this thing. Maybe it's Batman looking over us.
right?
I
or
think
something from Krypton. But
I think
Yeah.
guys, get 7 Mile Eddie out of there.
I think it's
Please,
Bruce.
if you don't mind, can you give him this on the way out? And then,
I love it when you play that.
all right.
Play it again. Play it again.
Hold on. Windows here. Hold up.
You guys know what
Windows,
movie
good
that
up.
was on.
I have
I
something
forgot.
for him. I have something for
We have
him.
one.
Look, look.
That's Beverly Hills Cop.
You know, I need that clip, yo.
Eddie Murphy get thrown
Window,
out the
what's going on?
window. Then he got arrested.
Yep.
Man, that's
That's a
But
funny as
classic.
fuck.
yeah, but here's the thing though. It's just been getting me paranoid because, and part of the reasons why I don't, one of the reasons anyway, why I don't trust these people is that the map that we're using. How many of you in the audience know that? All right. First things first. Give me a minute.
Another
I'm gonna.
bro
Yeah.
tap.
Go ahead.
Another one for him. Another one for him. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to give them exactly, yeah. Exactly.
And then somebody yells at the end of that flute, "Bye bye, bitch," or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, man. But hold on, because the thing is okay, hold on. Yeah, what were you saying? What were you saying, Pocho, about you were about to say something about the object, right? I think.
Uh, yeah, I think I was gonna say that I do remember them talking about this many years ago. Many years ago. Um, I didn't know that it didn't make another like like a pass through like our Earth or something or what.
Yeah, I mean, look, they said that it went away from our sun. It started moving away from our sun, and how does a comet move away from? You know what? I'm just not gonna ask, right? But they said it started moving away from our sun, so nothing to worry about. Go back to sleep. They said that its trajectory and method of propulsion was not like any asteroid. It's wobbly. Now, to me, it seems to me like the history of rocketry that we have on Earth doesn't necessarily have to parallel the history of rocketry on another planet. They may have another way of propelling objects. Okay, so that thing that's wobbling up there, or that was wobbling up there, it's it's likely that it's a ship, man. It's likely that it's a ship.
Mm.
It's likely that's a ship, and it's likely still there. That like it's been bugging me.
You know what's
The-
crazy?
yeah,
Do you guys believe in aliens?
absolutely.
Uh,
None to actually
yeah,
believe they're there.
I think they're like interdimensional beings. I don't know about aliens necessarily, like extraterrestrials from another
Mm.
planet, like a solid planet. But yeah,
Hey man,
You
a rose
know,
by any
you
other
guys,
name. You feel me?
but you know what's crazy? I believe in them. I just
Yeah.
feel like they don't talk to us when they see people like the slow tips. You know,
Hmm.
that's what they don't
Like
want.
Chivo.
They don't want
Dude,
Like,
dude,
to.
dude, just about to contact us.
imagine
You
an
know,
alien watching that viral video that Chivo made where he's screaming.
They're like
just do
stupid human, stupid human,
it. They were just about to contact us. They're like, huh. Hmm.
stupid
I think we'll
human.
pass. I think we'll pass. Oh my god, that's pretty funny.
That's why they
Like,
don't talk to us. It's because of
yeah.
them. So we
Hmm.
gotta keep pushing them because I want to talk to freaking aliens. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right.
mean that the maps that we think we know of, like where we are in the world, it's all right, just go ahead and discuss it with Potro. That's something I'm trying to pull up here. But
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say,
with the
speaking about
aliens,
aliens and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Saturn, for example, I don't think that they tell us what Saturn actually is. Some people believe that Saturn, like the ring that's on top of Saturn, the hexagram. Some
Mhm.
Yeah.
people think that that's like a world. It's like a portal to another world. Some people think it's a portal to hell. I don't really
Wow.
know about that. But back in 2006, NASA actually sent like a probe or something where they were it was like a satellite. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
Mhm.
they were capturing the sound waves and the frequencies from that planet, which is basically supposedly a big ball of gas.
Oh
And they
wow.
were, yeah, they were basically like you could hear the noises of Saturn. It sounds like people screaming, like people
Yeah.
screeching, screaming.
You gotta be
I'm pretty sure
fucking
you've heard of
kidding
it.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I heard. Yeah, I heard of that.
You have to explain that
Hmm.
to me like I'm a 5-year-old. So please expound.
Well, basically, you just got to go to YouTube, type in I don't know, I don't even know
Well,
what the
Sounds of
what
the Universe. You can start with Sounds of
sounds
the
of
Universe.
Saturn,
Yeah.
sounds of Saturn,
Sounds of
yeah,
Saturn.
sounds
There
of
you go.
Saturn, and then you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
Wow. I
See,
was
They
not
capture
aware of
the
that.
sound frequencies of the, yeah, no, it's crazy, it's crazy.
I was not aware of that. I probably had to play the flute on myself.
no, because the thing is, there's sound up there. They supposedly they said there's no. Remember the old term that came from Aliens when they had a commercial for aliens in
Yeah.
space. No one can hear you scream, right? That's not true. There's
Mhm.
sound up there. It's just not stuff that we can probably discern, right? So they have
Yeah, I believe
they
there
have
are
these
sound
kinds of
waves, yeah.
they have devices up there that are capturing things, and the most eerie things are coming from those devices. Those devices are picking up all kinds of freaky horror shit. All kinds of screams and
Yeah.
wailing and all kinds of like, dude. And they found a whole bunch of stuff out there that they're now admitting. They found a planet a planet, not, I was going to say full of diamonds, a planet made of diamonds. Now the thing is, if they, knowing people on Earth here, if those idiots went up there, they'd blow the planet up or vaporize it or something if they could, so that the diamonds on Earth could be more valuable. Because if
Right.
it's a planet, yeah, if it's a
Consumerism is
planet,
on the mind of people like Elon Musk.
yeah. So if we let Elon Musk and Richard Branson go up there first, Lord knows what they'll be doing to what we're supposed to inherit. We're supposed to inherit what's up there. We're children of the stars. I heard that there's particular star stuff in one palm that's different from the star stuff on the other palm in your very hands. I don't know how true that is. That's way above my pay grade. But we're children of the stars, and these
Hmm.
people are going up there to colonize Mars and all these other places, and they want to run their own government away from what we have established as modern rule of law, where people are entitled to a fair trial, you know, innocent before proven guilty, all these sorts of things. So now they're going on Mars where we have no jurisdiction. What
Not
the
only
hell is
that, We have no knowledge. It's like I said, human beings like us, Homo sapiens, we're like so cocky and entitled. What makes us think that we even have the weapons to wage a war with other planets? This is why I say this is why we keep putting instructions in shampoo, you know, because we are not able to understand simple facts. And we need those instructions
Hey
to even
guys,
wash our
I'm
hair.
gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to my cell phone. God told me that I have to go get chocolate ice cream, and I must obey.
All right.
Oh, okay, bro. Peace out, bro. Peace out.
You must obey
And
the Lord,
I'm
sir.
coming back
Peace out.
to my
Take
cell
care,
phone.
Truth.
Obey the Lord.
Yeah, but seriously, this is why the shampoo still has
Yeah.
instructions, because of people that think that we can just barge in and colonize planets now, you know, because we messed up our own. This is insane.
So, bro, type, you're on a mission to see what this thing is, right? The Aurora.
Yeah, I don't know what the Oumuamua. I don't know what the hell it
Aurora.
is, but you know, hopefully, I mean, because there are a lot of things where I heard that they won't even let you if you have a private plane or anything like that, they won't let you. Now, I've never heard of this. I mean, I thought the world is the world, but they won't let you fly over the Antarctica by yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Really?
that's true. Yeah. Yeah. You can't go
Like
to
what the fuck?
Antarctica. You have to be.
Antarctica.
You have to have. Yeah. You have to have like a license or something from the
Yeah.
government.
That's insane.
They won't let how you ain't gonna let me? What?
The world's free. That you see, that's why I'm a big supporter of like open borders. I believe that, the notion of regulating migration depending on circumstances and quality of life is retarded, because the planet should be free for everybody, because at the end of the day the consequences of the planet will be equally distributed or even
Yeah.
unequally distributed. We If the planet goes to shit, we will all go to shit with it.
Why are you
And I
supporting
think
Haitians?
Who's this? Who's this?
It's me, it's Jamaican Renaissance. Why are you
Jamaican
supporting
Renaissance.
Haitians?
Jam-
Jamaican Renaissance, yeah.
Jamaican Renaissance.
Right? Oh god.
Denise, Denise, stop being a Vende Patria.
Well, why are you a Vende Patria? Or
uh,
I mean, for Denise, that's a different nemesis. See, Domrin, I think we all have our nemesis. We all have our nemesis on this platform. For Truth
yes,
Teacher, it's Domrin. For Denise, it's Fighter. Or is it?
I have
This is
several. I
you have
have
several. No,
several.
for you
You have
it's Chi Chi.
several
No.
enemies.
For
You have
Denise it's
several
Chi Chi.
enemies.
All right, for Denise it's Chi Chi. For All Aboard, it's
It's
Fighter.
Fighter. Oh my
Yeah, we see. I think for me it's Macho. I'm not sure though. It
I
might.
think you have no, I think you have several.
Yeah, I have several too.
You have several, because we've been pissing a lot of people off. And Posho, don't get me started on you.
Oh
You
yeah,
do have
Oh,
a lot,
Pocho probably has
okay?
the most.
yeah.
He probably has the
I
most,
Yes.
bro.
have. I'm an enemy of them all. I'm an enemy of them all.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Right. I was gonna
But
say
yeah.
MXBC. I was gonna say like
Oh, MXBC.
MXBC.
There you go, MXBC.
Yeah, MXBC. You know, Young God, one of those guys.
Young
Probably
God.
Young God. Probably my
Uh,
arch enemy.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pocho,
and
me.
look at the names they're using. How you gonna have a name like Young God and you're anti-black?
I know, right? I know,
You're
right,
spitting all
dude?
kinds of hip hop.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what?
crazy.
But you know what? How can we be surprised? Then they want to be neo Nazis,
Yeah.
and neo Nazis have never done anything original in their entire life. They co-opted stuff.
Like the swastika, the
The
swastika.
swastika is not theirs. The Norse stuff, like because I've met a lot of people who are like from Norway or have Norwegian heritage. They
Yeah.
hate Nazis. They're like, yo, they're
Oh
using all
yeah, it gives
this
them a bad image. Yeah, the
shit. Yeah.
Narcissists, because there are people who actually believe that stuff still to this day.
Mhm.
Who believe in Odin and things like that.
Yes, sir.
And you read what these people say online, and they're like, dude, these National Socialists and these Nazis, they're giving us a bad name. The
Yep.
Odinists and the Nordicists out there. It's crazy.
Yep. They hate those guys. They're like, yo, because those neo Nazis are using the black sun. That symbol. They're using the two lightnings, and you can find all that stuff in the Nordic or Norse, not just Norse mythology, but like in the stuff on their walls and stuff like that, and in their poems, like the poem Edda and the prose Edda. You find all that stuff in there, and it has nothing to do with racism. And these people co-opted it for racist purposes. The
Hmm.
actual skinheads, real skinheads from like England or whatnot, they hate racist skinheads and not neo-Nazi skinheads, because skinheads were about the working class. The only reason why they shaved their heads, it was inherited from their dads who worked in factories where you had to have your hair shaven, otherwise you might get your head chomped by the machinery if it catches onto your long hair and pulls your head in, right? So
Hmm.
Okay,
you had
you
to
know
shave.
something? I
Mm,
never, I
Not
never knew that. I was always confused because I know, like in England, the skinheads, their genre of music that they locked onto was Jamaican ska
yeah, yeah,
and reggae, and so
yeah,
I was
they love
always
black people.
confused. I was
No,
always confused because I was like, wait a minute,
how
the
you gonna love
racists love
Jamaican
ska
ska?
music? Like, how does that work?
hmm
Mm,
Okay, so there's two different kind of skinheads.
yes,
Oh
yes, two
shit,
different
I
kinds of
never
skin.
knew that.
No, not just that, but like even nowadays, you could look at things like meme culture, for example. Like Peppa the Frog is a classic example. Peppa the
Yeah.
Frog wasn't an alt-right, neo-Nazi, whatever online symbol at first, but then it was kind of co-opted by them.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't know that?
Oh,
You didn't know Peppa the Frog was never supposed to be a neo-Nazi symbol?
Nah. I mean, I caught on late with Pepe. I
Wasn't
Oh,
caught
okay,
on to it
okay.
wasn't this
when it was
wasn't
using
this
the
what
Kekistan.
like a tantric son? That means like like a karmic son that whatever you put in the world comes back.
What's that?
I was
The
Yeah,
I was
they
under
use
the
swastika?
everything.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was under
Hmm.
the impression that that's the karmic son. Like
Yeah.
whatever you put in the world will come back. So I was like, Nazis, I have something for y'all. Like what the hell? Like they predicted their own decay
No,
then.
but now that we're talking about it, it's so true, bro. Tip. It's like when you really think about it, they really do co-opt everything, like every
Yeah.
single thing. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they took the swastika from Hindus.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's a karmic son. Like I'm not even making this up. That's a karmic son. Whatever you put in the world will come back at you. Like the world is like always going like in full circle.
yeah.
And life too.
Almost.
So, Pocho, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you had your epiphany and you thought about announcing it on YouTube, like what went through your mind in terms of the kind of reaction that you'd get from like people who were your followers or your
Hmm.
people in
Yeah.
arms?
So the thing is that just like we were talking about before, with narcissism, a lot of my followers from like the Chivo camp, I literally
Mhm.
did make an announcement video saying, "Look, for now on, I'm not going to be uploading anything anti-black. Okay, if you want to find material that's only about black people and talking about black people for some reason, 24/7, go subscribe to Chivo." Or go somewhere else, or get a life, right? That's what I said. Not that, yeah, not that that's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
no, I actually, I made a 41-minute video called My Thoughts on Chivo 2121, where I talked about, why I think it's such a waste of time to always talk about black people 24/7 when we could be talking about other more important things. And I made a message. I said, look, for now on, for here on out, I'm not going to be anti-black anymore. I'm not going to upload content that's worshiping Spain or anything like that. Go somewhere else with that stuff. And you had this one dude named, you had a bunch of people in the comment section say, oh, no, wait, but hold on, dude. Radical Latino brainwashed you. You can't be doing stuff like that, bro. Come on. And I'm like, wait. But I don't care what you have to say. Go somewhere else. I'm telling you right now, I don't care. And there's one dude named Batista 2.0. He's like this crazy guy.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you've seen.
Batista
Yeah, you've seen him in
2.0.
comments. Yeah, you've seen him in comment sections. This dude was literally telling me, "Oh, I got my eye on you. I'm always gonna be watching you." And I'm like, "Wait. But you could unsubscribe, right? Because I'm not gonna be uploading anything that you want to see." And this guy's like, "No. I got my eye on you. I'll always be one step ahead of y'all." And I don't know what he meant when he said y'all. I think he was talking about black people or whatever. But he's like, "No, I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you." And I'm like, "Okay, I could just block you." I could just block you, but still, these people are like obsessed with me. Like, even though I made it clear that I was never going to upload any of the stuff that I used to upload, they still follow me anyway. Like, they were stalking on me, things like that.
To keep
It
an
was
eye on
insane.
that ass. That's obsessive, yo.
All you got to do is
No,
just
it's obsessive. Yeah.
just explain to them that Radical flew you down to Mexico.
You got flued out.
Amazing. You got flown down to Mexico. You got these amazing tacos. And you just saw the light,
Right.
But
Yeah, I saw the light.
here's the thing, right? Give me a second.
No, but going back to what you were saying, Truth, in terms of the reaction, some people said, okay, I respect, what you're doing. It's fine. You don't want to always make content that's anti-black. Because keep in mind, I was showing my face back in those days,
But did you
and
have
when you show your face,
did you have any apprehension of like making that move? Because that's a very drastic leap.
yeah,
like,
no,
did
it
you have
is.
any apprehension.
Listen, if I really wanted somebody that had that wanted a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers, I could definitely just continue the Chivo route and show my face, talking about black people and risk that biting me in the ass one day. But I chose this to stop and say no, I'm not going to do that. And when I did that, like I said, some people accepted it and they were like, okay, that's fine, that's cool, right? You don't want to always upload stuff that's anti-black, whatever, that's cool. Other people were like, no, I'm gonna, even though you're not like this anymore, I'm still gonna subscribe to you. I'm still gonna see what you're watching. We got our eye on you, and you better not try to fuck anything up. And I'm like, but you understand I don't have a lot of subscribers, right? Like, I literally only had less than 200 subscribers and they were still obsessed with me. And I'm like, why
Wow.
can't you go do something else, like go watch Chivo or something like that? And they just wouldn't budge. They would always focus on me, stalk my pages and things like that.
Look, hey, you look at Chivo's content, and I think we should maybe slow down talking about them. But I'm gonna say this though. You look at Chivo's content and him droning on and on in the camera. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, who can follow that? Right? So that's why
Right.
no. And then they have you where you're actually articulate, you're actually speaking about stuff. That's why they're like, hey, don't go away, man. There was desperation in that. That wasn't a threat.
Yeah.
That was desperation. Like, if you leave us, we're left with Shivo. That was what that was.
Right. We're left with the dummy who can barely speak.
Yeah. Or
You
Chem
have
one
the
two
most
three.
haters now. Definitely.
Yeah, they just
No,
want
but
you.
if you
They
think about
just
it,
want you
if
back.
you think about it, I think it is true because, like, first of all, when you look at the white supremacists that used to be on YouTube, they're not on YouTube anymore. A lot
Yeah.
of them have been
Where
kicked
did
out
they
of
go?
YouTube, and they've gone to places like BitChute, for example.
Yes.
They've gone to places like BitChute
Okay.
because YouTube will no longer allow them to upload their content. So people like
Mhm.
Nick Fuentes, for example, who used to have a big following on YouTube, or
You on
Stefan
YouTube?
Molyneux, yeah, all these people, they're no longer on YouTube, right? So you
Yeah.
got that out. And then when it comes to these Hispanics, because we know that most of them are not white, right? They
Mhm.
only have people like Chivo, who already by himself doesn't really have a big following, right? 1,000 subs isn't really anything on YouTube. compared to others. And you have
Mhm.
people like Cam, and you might even have people like OG the Rancho, but they didn't even really like OG because supposedly he wasn't as anti-black as they were. So really, who else did you have in these circles that's actually a figurehead that actually showed his face and made content? Well, you had
Mhm.
me. You had
Yeah.
me. And now that I'm gone, okay, what else are you gonna really do? You're just
Nobody.
gonna, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's no
Yeah,
one left.
nobody.
Now,
There's nobody left.
now instead of your articulate ass, they gotta go and seek out OG Del Rancho, who's sitting there and droning on and on about esoteric
Right.
nonsense. Well, Kim
I
one
was
two three.
told by somebody that I would not throw under the bus that watches his content
Mm-hmm.
that he prays before he starts his content. Is that true?
Aw,
Got to be fucking kidding me.
that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute.
No, it's not. It's fucking
What's up?
creepy, bro.
No, I
Ted.
could just see him on his knees. You know,
That's
he's at his little
so
bedside,
creepy.
right? His little
That's
Hello
creepy
Kitty
as
bed
hell.
sheets. He's like, please, Lord.
He prays before he's invoking magic before
Right. Oh shit.
he's
Yo,
like, oh my
Hello, Lord.
god.
Are you listening?
I gotta
This is
start.
Yes.
OG Del Rancho.
Bless his
I gotta
stream.
bang,
Bless his
bang my
stream.
spig.
But see, the thing with Rancho is that he's just so boring, and he doesn't
That's
really
what I'm
talk about the
saying.
stuff that they want to hear. You know, like
Yeah.
he's not entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude literally makes 3 hour long episodes or shows, whatever you want to call them, live streams where he talks about the stuff he wants to talk about. But if you want to attract people outside of an echo chamber, you got to
Mhm.
maybe do more how do I say it? Individualistic videos where you just go through information and it's like a good 23 minutes. You don't
Yes.
want to make it where it's like 3 hours long because in real life, outside of an online echo chamber, nobody with jobs and schedules and all that stuff is going to sit around watching
Mhm.
3 hour live streams where you break down information. No one's going to do that.
Except except this audience, you know, we totally respect you here. And I
All
think that
right.
you would do that on this platform. Bad Pocho. Bad Pocho.
Well, you know, I meant more like if you're
I'm
going
just
through
messing with you. I'm
historical
just messing with
stuff, you know.
you. No.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, right? This platform, how that's different is that we are fluid and we're agile. We go through all these different things. You guys just talked about relationships and how it is to deal with someone with narcissistic tendencies and narcissistic problems. You know, the mindset and the difference between that and someone with sociopathy and the third difference between someone with psychopathy. That's interesting stuff. They're not going to get that anywhere else on this YouTube platform. Okay, so they had that. Before that, they had little bochinche, right? You know,
No,
and then
no,
now, and then just a few
they
minutes
didn't have
ago,
bochinche. They didn't have
no, they didn't
bochinche.
have
You
enough
just
of that.
no, 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 no. You're being too kind, man. They had this.
Yeah, they had slowness, yo. And then after that, they
They had
had,
that.
you
They
know,
had that
after that,
flute. Look, that flute is going through puberty,
puberty.
and
That's what it is.
that's what they had.
Yeah. And then for those of them who are into this stuff, we spoke about the maps yesterday. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Mercator map,
Oh, the
right?
mercator map. Yes, complete
Yeah.
bullshit.
hmm And the one time that the entire yo yep.
Yo, somebody say pizza.
Let me see if I can say yo.
I came back. Yeah, I came back from divesting, guys. What's up?
Now you went scuba diving and you saw that there was a killer whale there, and you're like, oh no, I'm not having it today.
Yo, nah, it's actually raining right now over here,
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
good.
and so it's raining real hard. So
Okay. The people that have never heard of it, the one time that anyone has heard of the Mercator map was from a show years and years ago called The West Wing,
wait a
where
minute, isn't the Mercator map like a real depiction map of the
No, no,
world
it's
and
a
stuff like
fake
that?
one. It's a
No,
fake
it's a
one.
It's
fake
That,
one.
fake.
Yeah.
It's fake.
yeah, and the thing is, and us calling it fake. All right, look, us calling it fake is a little bit of an exaggeration because it's not actually fake. It's just overblown and
It's inaccurate.
misrepresented. Yeah,
It's
it's inaccurate.
inaccurate. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for a long time, the people, for some of you who were here yesterday, I'm kind of repeating the same thing, but the Mercator map was evolved from years of you know um all kinds of pirates, sailors, soldiers, marines, salesmen, moors, bandits, marauders, inventors, doctors, thieves, merchants, prostitutes, slave traders, all sorts of traffickers, all sorts of people who were doing business up there in Europe and between Europe and the so-called New World, right? But then the countries that didn't have a lot of foot traffic, or that obviously it's the seas, but you know what I mean, that didn't have enough traffic, that these other people were doing. Those countries, they didn't get the blow up. They didn't get the focus and stuff like that. So hold on, let me show you something here. Add this. Who's breaking into an ATM? What's that sound?
I
That's me
say,
getting my ice cream that the Lord told me to
I
get.
say, give me the
Oh.
money.
Yeah, it's
I
you,
said,
bro.
give me the money, white man. Oh, my bad.
Right out here doing dirt.
Listen, I'm also getting pistachios
All
because
right.
God told me that if I got pistachios, it's healthy. So
It's
it's
healthy and it goes with the ice cream.
You're
Yo,
invoking you're invoking magic again.
yo,
that's
True.
right.
Michelle said, Radical just came back from wrestling a white supremacist. Yo, people are so funny, son. Wait, what are we watching?
We were first watching we were watching the Mercator map thing the first time the world got exposed to it. Then we were listening to somebody rob kids for ice cream. So I had to pause
Right.
truth teachers thing here. And
Mm.
they showed this stuff and then they just glossed over it. Like it wasn't shit.
Wow.
They showed this stuff and then glossed over like it wasn't shit.
Wow.
Right? Your address right now, if you're listening, your address right now is not where the fuck you think it is.
So I'm not in Puerto Rico?
I mean, look, I explained this yesterday, right? If you're sitting in the bathtub, look, if you're sitting in the bathtub, like when you were a kid, and then there are these puzzle pieces. Maybe I had a different childhood than all of you, but you have those plastic puzzle pieces, like you're doing a plastic map puzzle. And when you get up, those puzzles move. When you sit back down, those puzzles come together in a different way. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing, yeah. So when you move things, or things were not the same size they were before, when you fit them back together, yeah, you're not living the Puerto Rico, right? That's not where you think it is. Like it's yo, what the hell, man? But then if they're lying about that shit, and we're not even, give me a second here, because when we look at the Mercator map versus the real map, okay, here's a close up of what they were saying. All right, the light blue is what they told us the sizes were. The dark
Mm.
blue, the dark blue is the size that the countries actually are.
Mm.
Notice the only ones with actual fidelity that never changed and actually stayed the same are the ones on the bottom with all the dark skinned people. And that's
Mm.
where we come up, right? That's where we come up with the other part of this little fucked up presentation here, which is this, depending on how you look at it,
Brota?
it's supposed to depending on who you ask, this is supposed to be the world map.
Really?
Okay? See, kids, in space, there's no up or down, right? So north and south is relative to whatever the hell you choose for it to be. But they chose, because up is a biased term, she's an uptown girl, right? So upscale, right? What's up is heaven, what's down is hell. All those biased terms, because of those biased terms, and I'm going to read from the presentation on Wikipedia. It's partially trustworthy, but on this they got it right. Let me go here real quick.
Unless has Snowtap changed the data.
No, but the thing is, they rigorously check it now. Like you can go ahead and try to do something. Try to do some gay ops on there. Like, hey, ice cream's actually made of corn fluff. Like an hour later, it'll be changed. They rigorously check it now. Like probably less than an hour. That's why they keep asking for donations so that they can maintain that kind of fidelity. But hold on one second. All right, so south up map orientation, if you guys can see that, is the orientation of a map with south
No,
up.
You can't see it.
Give me a second. There's nothing there?
No.
Rad, stop.
No, I'm dead serious. That's
All
not
right, hold on.
Now it's all black.
It's all black? Hold on one second.
I guess it's just us.
It's just us. We took over.
Yeah, we took over. There you go.
Yo, no, I rebooted it so that we can have a fresh start here. Give me a minute. Hold on. Wait. Boom.
That's how it was sounding.
All right. Okay, so now you can see the screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Now I'm sounding like Truth Teacher, chewing on this friggin' microphone.
Oh, south map.
Yeah, south up map orientation. South up map orientation is the orientation of a map with south up, or at the top of the map, amounting to 180-degree rotation of the map from the standard convention of north up. Maps in this orientation are sometimes called upside down maps or reverse maps. Other maps with non-standard orientation include T and O maps, polar maps, Dymaxion or Dymaxion maps. Psychological significance. Research suggests that north-south positions on maps have psychological consequences. In general, north is associated with richer people, more expensive real estate, and higher altitude.
Really?
While south, yo, listen, Rad. When I had told that this fucker Salam that you changed my mind about this white supremacy business, okay? This is part of the reasons why. There's so many layers as to how much they brain fucked us. They have basically given us a false real estate address of where we live and a map where you don't necessarily have to have north be north and south be south because there's no up and down in space. They have flipped it so that the countries where they come from have prominence and a psychological effect on us. And then the size of those maps, which didn't start out, again, it didn't start out being racist. It's because at the time, if I may grab you guys' ears for a minute who are in the audience and go through this again, maybe one or two of you were present yesterday when we covered this, but many of you were not. Many years ago, in a long time, no, but many years ago, all these countries you see in light blue, they were the ones doing the most of the trafficking. All the pirates and swashbucklers, traffickers, right? All these people that we see in video games having made stories about. All the merchants, merchants and sailors, right? And soldiers and all these sorts of people. They
Yeah.
were the ones who were using that map. They were the ones, all the soldiers, traffickers, Moors, salesmen,
Yeah.
Marines, right? And so it made sense at that time because nothing was really going on down there, like in South America and Africa, of significance, right? People were interacting with each other on that continent, mostly alone. So up there, it made sense that you had those maps in prominence because we needed to see where, okay, where's the ship docking, which port, that port, whatever. It made sense. But after we got airplanes now, and we know the whole world, more or less, and people are more interconnected than ever, you don't need to have this map anymore. Now it's racist that they actually have it with no need to, right? For the reason of maintaining a psychological edge. So this white supremacy thing, it's layers upon layers of it. And we had an argument with Questions Now, I think her name is. She usually goes up on Chem123's platform where, no disrespect to her, but this is the truth, where she spits anti-black stuff because she's kind of bitter about relationships she had with black men. She's a black woman that she had with black men.
Yeah.
And so she goes on there and says black men ain't sharing all kinds of stuff, and Kim enables it. Yeah, that's right. See, a black woman even saying it. So she goes on that platform. But she was here, and then we were discussing this stuff. And you know, it's a thing where we don't know how many layers of this thing is, but we were telling her, and she kind of eventually agreed with us that, yeah, this is an upscale battle. Like, we got to pull ourselves up. I mean, from the dirt is not even describing it, because if you don't even live where you think you live, like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
But hold on, let me.
So
Like,
so you mean to
yeah.
tell me that north the North Pole is actually south?
No. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that because there's no like orientation in space is very different from what we have it here on
Yeah,
Earth,
yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
So
saying. So
yeah. So listen. You'd probably have to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson about this because he's the expert on this sort of stuff. But
mhm.
as far as I've known and everything I've known about outer space in terms of reading and research, there's no up and down up there, right? And I'm not even sure there's left or right,
so
right? But
so
so
so the
up or down
picture the
depends on
picture
who the
of
hell decides. I'm
so
sorry,
the
go ahead.
picture of the astronauts putting the flag down with the Earth behind in the background,
Yeah.
and
That was
upright.
fake. That was
No.
fake.
That
Okay.
was
Okay.
fake.
Listen. Just to prove a point, right? Here's the blue marble photo. I don't know if this is seen on the screen right now. Is it? You guys see
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wikipedia?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
It's upside
This,
down.
yeah, this is the original photograph for the blue marble for us where we live. That's what the astronauts came the fuck back with. That's what they came the fuck back with. And then they flipped it because the way it is now, it puts darker countries in prominence. Once it starts rotating and you start seeing all these clouds go away, you'd see Africa in prominence. No, they're like, nah. And if you rotate it more, you'd see South American prominence. They're like, nah. Okay? Because Europe would be down here. And they're like, nah, we can't have that. So
So
they flipped that bitch.
so
And then, I'm
the,
sorry, God.
what I'm saying. So since it's upside down, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's
North
supposed to
is
be upside down. Yeah.
yeah. North
Supposed to
is
be.
really south, and south is really north.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but the thing is, if you go and say that in the scientific community, they'll be like, no, it's not true, and they'll be right that there's no up or down in space as far as I've read and researched. There's no up or down in space, but it it's very telling that this when they went up there and took a photo, though, even though there's no up and down in space, when they went up there and took a photo, this is how the camera naturally took the photo of the Earth. This is
Yeah.
how they came back with. So you know what? Aside from scientific fidelity aside, scientific knowledge aside, yeah, the
But
map's upside down.
can I ask you something, bro? Tap? Do you
Yeah.
believe that the moon landing is real?
Um, I'm of two minds about the moon landing. The
I don't
original
believe
one,
in it.
the
I
one
don't
that's
believe
black
in
and
it.
white, nah, they ain't do that shit. Those guys, if they did send anybody up there, they're dead.
No,
And I don't mean,
they sent three monkeys, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
I believe they sent three monkeys up there, but they ain't send no people.
yeah,
If they
I
did,
don't
they're dead.
believe. I believe that the moon landings are not accurate because of the size of the Earth, from the moon.
Yeah,
And a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people that actually don't believe in the moon landings. I don't, to
yeah.
be honest
Well,
with
I
you.
mean,
Like
look,
after seeing stuff, I'm like, no.
no, the more recent moon landings, I'm more likely to believe because now, at the very least, we see the technology in our hand every day that would take us there. We see the tech that would take us there right now. All our cell phones and laptops and cars and jets. The jets are real, right?
I
Before
don't
that,
believe
these people barely had jets, and then you tell me you're going up there to the moon? Fuck out of here! But
Yeah,
now
I still don't believe in the
you
moon
still don't
landing.
believe them, yeah?
No,
And
because you
and
want to know
and I
why?
don't blame you for not believing them. They're
But
a whole bunch of liars.
you know why?
Mhm.
Because only 4% of the brain is known.
Yeah.
And we know more about outer space than our brain. How is that possible? And then
Hmm.
on top of that, you have this whole, like, how come, we stop at the moon, and there's a lot of things that are not clarified? Why there's a lot of stuff that is still quote unquote
There
classified?
was yeah, there was this thing that was supposed to measure and gauge the level of sophistication a civilization could have, and based on that um comes this whole filter theory type of thing, but I don't want to get into that. They say that a civilization, there's a type 1, 2, 3, and 4 civilization, right? I think type 4 is already you're already expanding beyond the horizons, and you are going into multi galaxy takeover type of thing, and you're already using energy, natural energy from a sun type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's a type 4
Yep.
civilization. We're nowhere close to that. I think they said that we're close to, we're not even close to type 1. I think
No.
we're
Yeah, we're like
point
.05 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah
we're very
points
primitive.
yeah 0.05 when it comes to something like that. Now, again, I don't believe, to be honest, that we have gone to the moon. Maybe more recently, yes, probably, but I don't believe that we have, because other things, don't really add up. Shadows, the flag waving and stuff like that. All right, cool. But I do think that there is something out there. I do believe that, because the government even said that they're aliens. That this is out of their own mouth. So I do believe we we aren't alone. It's hard to believe that there's multiple planets and we're the only ones
With
up in here.
life.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe in aliens. I was just telling Bro Ted Pocho and Truth before that the reason why aliens hasn't engaged in communication with us, in my opinion, is because of the people that act like the slow taps. Like, you will look at people like Kimbo and you're like, no, I don't want to engage with that. Like, if I was an alien,
I'm telling you right now, Earth is the projects of the galaxy.
yeah, we're like the trash can. Like, in my opinion, I would not want to talk to an alien.
Yeah,
I would be like, that's so stupid. That's
Jackson. Hey, don't go there, man. Don't go to Earth.
yeah,
yeah,
ooh, no, that's dangerous.
No,
yeah.
not just dangerous, but like it's a filthy back swamp.
And
Um,
also
It's idiocracy. It's idiocracy.
mhm.
on top of that, I don't know if you guys are aware or familiar, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Um, have you guys, I don't know, seen recent pictures of Mars or whatever the case is?
Yeah,
There's a lot of evidence that life, for example, water was possible in Mars. Now
Yep.
my thing is,
They used to say that Mars was like Earth, but there was like a war or something that dried up all the resources, something like that.
well, that's what I was gonna go at, because the scientists say that there's obviously evidence that water was there. Mars was actually just like Earth at one point. The thing is that they said now it is filled with carbon monoxide, and it's basically a planet just full of pollution. You know what I mean? So that's basically what it is, right? No, that it's over. Now
So we're Mars.
There
We're
was a
Mars
theory.
2.0.
Well, there's a theory. They say that humans originated in Mars, and we fucked it up so bad that we had to literally come to Earth and terraform the Earth in order for us to survive.
So we did a multicultural marriage with Earth.
I don't know how true that might be, but
But what timeline was this? Like, was this before the Aztecs or what?
010 BC, bro. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But what the theory goes is, you know, we came here, we did, early humans did whatever, and then we lost our civilization or whatever the case is, and we reverted back into like caveman times or whatever, blah blah blah.
I think someone is trying to. Oh, I'm sorry, that's sundown.
No. There's another theory that the core, Mars core, it stopped working. And when the core died, the atmosphere and all that evaporated, and that's what turned Mars into what it is now. That there's still like their satellite images supposedly old dried up say like what's the word? There's like different patterns on the surface that mimic what a dried up ocean would look like.
Oh shit.
And that's what they think. They think that the core of Mars gave out. And
You
when
guys
it gave out,
you guys hear that?
What? Hear what? Hey, yo, don't be scaring me, bro. I'm in a dark room. What the fuck? Don't be scaring me, bro.
Don't scare me like this, dog.
The cookies. You guys can't hear that? The cookies.
Oh no, we don't hear any cookies.
Okay, all right.
Radical.
The cookies, bro. The cookies.
The cookies.
No, we were here talking about aliens and shit, and then Rat's like, "Hey, yo, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Hear that?" And we're all like, "What? What?"
That's got the worst
the
timing,
cookies.
yo.
I gotta charge my headphones. I'll be back.
They came.
No, but I was gonna
from
say about
Mars.
aliens. I don't know if you heard about this, bro. Tech, you probably have. I think it was just in December of 2020 that an Israeli military official came out, and you could like this is real. Like everybody was reporting on this. He came out and said aliens have visited us. They are real, and that they're just waiting for contact because humanity is not ready yet. Something like that.
Yeah. Look, man. At this point, anybody who's denying it, they're just, yeah, you're right. At this point,
the slow tips are delaying our progress.
It's many of these people, and the thing is, the governments of many countries have contingency plans. They have literal handbooks of what to do in case of an alien attack. Right? The U.S. has one. I think Canada has one. All of them. They all have one. They even have them for zombie attacks. Believe it or not, there's zombie handbooks. What to do, how to kill a zombie. All these sorts of things.
Why do you keep bringing up Haitians?
Yeah, no. What the DR has a handbook. What to do if of an Haitian invasion or something like that.
No, they ain't ready for that.
A Haitian what? Oh, the DR.
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
On the DR, it's what to do if a Haitian zombie attack or a Haitian attack.
Just general, like a Haitian invasion. Rotep, you're there, or I think his mic is muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I had to mute it
The
because
aliens got you.
my drink went down the wrong way.
The aliens got you. That's all.
But
They're like,
yeah,
we can talk to this human.
yep.
We can
And
talk to this human.
listen, these people, they're professional liars, man. That's why I can't believe a damn thing they say. They found the Ark of the Covenant. You know, they found El Dorado. They found all these different things. They found the city of Troy. You know, from the
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Woodruff.
they
From the
did find that.
aliens?
It's in Turkey.
Yeah. See, they found all these different things, and and then now, if you ask them anything, they deny it, like to your
Yeah.
face. Like, okay, what are you still
They don't
denying
know.
it for?
They don't know. They don't know anything.
Yeah, you're still denying when we have your handbook for. At least it was floating around. I don't know if anyone still has
Pro
it.
tip. Look at what Michael Ruiz just said.
Michael Ruiz says, "Zombie attack. Why can't we just dance with them like Michael Jackson did? That would be awesome." Dun, 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 dun. Thriller. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh
That
my
would be
god.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
basically Army of the Dead. You know, those are zombies you can dance with, like Michael Jackson.
You know that
yeah.
zombies are real, right?
I'm sorry. What? Truth?
You know that zombies are real, right?
Yeah. I mean, many different kinds too.
Oh my god,
Because
sign me up.
the
Sign
What
Haitian
me
do you
up.
mean?
I'm
What do you
zombie.
gonna
mean?
die.
Oh, the Haitian zombies, for example, they got it from the word zombie was Haitian. I mean, it has African roots, but technically it's Haitian. Give me a second.
I definitely do want to sign me up, please. If you guys
And to
are
sign you up
running
for
for
to
being
become a
a
zombie.
zombie, yeah, after I pass, like before I'm dying, just sign me up. I want to be a zombie. I will bite several people that, are
You know,
better off as zombies.
they have this powder that they make from the puffer fish,
Yeah.
and it puts you in a deep state of like suspended animation
Mm.
where you appear to be dead.
Hmm.
Like your metabolism slows down like completely. But you revive like after a certain amount of time, like after a couple of days or something.
Yeah. And you're then highly susceptible to suggestion. And so, because of that, they said, that zombie's under the control of his master. You know, it's
Do
all
you guys
science.
really
Something
think
that they
that
do. Yeah.
zombies will eat brains?
No, zombies won't eat brains. But they found beer or alcohol in space. You see, it's called space booze. It's a whole bunch of stuff out there, right? And the if you don't look for it, they just won't tell you. I wish when I was in school that they would tell us this stuff. Like, hey, did you know that? Although I guess they'd be like, oh, beer. Maybe a little kid will be interested in beer. But let me see if I hope the screen is sharing. Not yet. Is the screen sharing now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1 second. It's space booze, discovered in 1995 near the constellation Aquila. The cloud is 1,000 times larger than the diameter of our solar system. It contains enough ethyl alcohol to fill 400 trillion pints of beer. That's a whole lot of mead. All right. So they found that in space. What I was telling Rad is, see, they said there is an up and down in space. No, there isn't, because then you're saying down is simply the direction gravity is pulling you. Since if you're not near a heavenly body out there in space, there's no up and down. See how these people play with words? Now, if you're on Earth, the gravity's pulling you, in the direction of the Earth. Then when you're on Earth, there's a down and up. But when you're in space, there's no up and down, unless you're near something with gravity, obviously. So, like a moon or the Earth, or maybe even an asteroid, if there's gravity on there, then up is away from the asteroid, anywhere away from the asteroid, and down is towards the asteroid if you're near the asteroid. But if you're in space, there's no up and down. So the Earth, when they took that photo, that's scary stuff, man. That's scary stuff. That these
Yeah,
people they actually sat here and lied. Look at this.
misinformation. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the Earth looks like. So Europe is way down here somewhere, but they lied. Holy mother.
That's the way the ancient Egyptians saw the world.
Mm.
Because the river
Mm.
comes from the south.
Oh yeah, the Nile.
So
Okay.
Upper Egypt is in the south and Lower Egypt is in the north. So ancient Egyptians, their minds were actually oriented.
Yeah, the correct way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean,
See, that's crazy.
I will
This
leave
goes hand in
Earth.
hand. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I will leave Earth if there's like an MBA somewhere else. If not, I'm with JS. I will stay on Earth. But if there's like entertainment somewhere else,
You will go watch
I'll definitely
sports.
want to see. Yeah, I'll definitely want to see something like Space Jam or something
Space
like that.
Jam.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. But if not, like that shit, but like, oh, we will be able to live in Mars. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good trade. Probably, let all the oligarchs go to Mars and then we'll stay here and kind of like have a better Earth.
Yeah, and prosper.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder though. Like,
you know what would be funny if I'm sorry, go ahead, True.
It's so far away from the sun. Wouldn't it be cold as fuck?
Which planet?
Mars.
No, I mean it's generally we're kind of like in the Goldilocks zone. I think with
And look how
Earth
fucking
and Mars.
cold it is when you get to the North and South poles.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, hey, bro, Ted, we were talking about Saturn earlier. You should look up Sounds of Saturn on YouTube. See if you can find the clip.
Yeah, I'm gonna see
they
if
won't care about the sun truth over there. They want to stay very pale. Don't worry.
No, but Truth, what do you think? Like, how did the ancient Egyptians know the true, yeah.
Well, like I said, it was an orientation based on the river. The river flows from south to north. Well, to them, it was up because whichever way the river is coming, that
trajectory. There we go. That's the word. Sorry. It took me a while to think about it.
Yeah, upstream was like going into Sudan and beyond.
Well, I do have to say something.
They looked at the world. They looked at the world from south, south first, and then everything north. That was because that's where the river was coming. That's that was their point of reference, was the river.
Right.
Well, if I may offer an alternative explanation here, Fighter and I were discussing this stuff. I know that's weird to even say. Yesterday, Fighter, myself, Rakim Allah, Mr. Research, and Questions Now. We were discussing this, and apparently, All Aboard, I forgot her. All Aboard had made us privy to a tribe that sees underwater clearer than any of us, and as clear as any camera. Okay, and it made me look up something that I remember of a tribe called the Hembe tribe that sees the world the way it actually is. And us here who have been perverted by Western civilization, we see the world in a very weird way. And a lot of the original people on the planet, they still see the world like reality itself, the way it is. I think the Egyptians, being an ancient people, they at the time saw reality the way it is, and that's how they knew, like, okay, this is up and this is down. And then now look how for granted we took it that these people had us in the wrong damn address, right? So imagine more than that, over thousands of years. This is only a few hundred years with this Mercator map. So now imagine thousands and thousands and thousands of years of this mind fuck. I think that's what it is. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Aztecs, the ancient Sumerians, and all these people. I think they saw the world the way it truly is. The ancient Dogons, who were mapping the stars before anybody met them, right? I think they saw the world the way it actually is.
Look,
And
I'm looking
But
Mhm.
up
how did they? How
what
did they get
Pocho
access to
said.
that knowledge?
What
I
Pocho
have I have another
said.
theory for that too. But
Look
go
at
ahead,
this.
Beast.
Listen to this.
That's Saturn, right?
Yeah.
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 I was just getting that, but you beat me to it. That's a Saturn. That's the sound of Saturn. Creepy as fuck, man.
Right. Right.
The other thing I have a problem with is yo. Mhm. You know what this sounds like? It
What?
sounds like the old school horror movies from space, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
It's the
that's what
man
it
from
feels
Mars, and
like.
he's here. See, and he's brought all his friends with him,
That's so
and this
weird.
reporter and his trusty sidekick.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Those old school 1950s, early 60s, late 40s, late 50s, early
Yeah,
60s,
that stuff is
sci-fi.
not normal, especially if you have not heard that anywhere else in outer space. Like
Yeah,
Right.
imagine, flying around, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, whoa! I'm like, what the hell? I would
yeah.
be like,
Right.
take
It's
me
fucking
back.
crazy.
She's like, take me back.
No, but it kind of goes to my point that some people think that Saturn is like a portal to a different world or something. You know, like the
It could be other
hexagram.
universes because we're only in the Milky Way. We don't know what's
Mhm.
like even further, on light years away from
Yeah,
us.
we're barely in the Milky Way. We're in the Milky Way, but we're only in this tiny, tiny solar
We're a
system.
speck. We're a
Right.
speck.
Right.
We're literally a speck in like a
Yeah, in the Milky
macro
Way.
universe.
In
Yeah.
the Milky.
We're like the size of what? An ant in like everything else? The Milky
What's
Way
what? Well,
itself.
no, we're the size of a cell on the back of a wing of a fly.
Yeah, there
We're
you
not
go.
even. We're not even the fly.
Look at what Michael Ruiz said. He's like, Denise will be like, no, 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 take me
No, no,
back
no, no,
home.
no, 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 no. So that's she's like, no, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
no.
Hey, no, 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 no.
Take me back.
Take me back.
I want to go back to my house right now. But we have to wait till the
It's like,
earth is in position. I
whoa.
don't care. No, no, no. I'm
No,
not
no,
staying
no.
here. I did not sign up for this.
No.
Oh
Uh,
my god.
he
I
like
mean,
when I got on the ship,
imagine.
he like, but Denise, let me finish. Let me
Let me
finish. When I got on the ship,
to be
this
honest.
was not part of the plan.
But you know what? People like me, I feel like if we put like a character like myself in the movie Alien,
Yeah, you
I
know,
would have survived. I
no,
would have.
you just saved everybody because then they're like,
Yeah.
all right,
Kick that
we
shit
have
out
one
the
crew member
fucking
wants to
ship.
go back.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, what is that? Do not touch it. Do not get out. No, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no. We're heading the hell out of here."
Hold on 1 second. Brotub will probably take pictures of the aliens to use as Yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to see that and use it. But
Definitely.
yeah,
No,
the actual people, that got here, I believe, Pocho, are okay. When they left Mars, they were advanced civilization. Then they got here. What happened was, if you ever seen, cases of the soccer team that crashed in the Andes, right? When civilization or like rescuers finally found these people, they looked like cave people. They had all their beard grown, and they were wearing rags, layers and layers of rags for clothing. And these people are soccer players, right? They're not scientists. They're not aviators. They're not anything. So there's nothing on the airplane that could help them get back to civilization, because that's not their station in life. They're soccer players. So if you had a whole bunch of people getting on a ship from Mars, they're not pilots. They're not. They have only one pilot, or like two or three pilots, and those pilots die, and the rest of the population are just normal people who are, families, wife, kids, whatever, and they get here. Now they have to start civilization over, and they don't know anything about rocketry or telemetry or, circuitry or electricity or anything like that. They're normal people. They're not experts at anything. So now you have a whole bunch of people with basically Stone Age level knowledge of how the world works, even though they're from in an advanced civilization where the experts had all the knowledge. And so now you're starting over. And
You know
and
what
so
I think?
I think those were the cave people
So
who
you're
were
trying to
normal
say
You
that
know
people.
what I think, in my
you're
opinion?
trying to say that we're the short bus of the universe. Is that it?
We're the short bus of the
We're the
universe.
short bus of the universe.
We are the trash can, yo.
Yep.
Look,
Mhm,
I don't think that even with all the quote unquote advancements,
mhm,
I don't even think that we created that. I believe that somehow somebody got in touch with an alien and
mhm,
actually, got some knowledge from them. I think we have literally thousands of years to evolve. I don't think human beings actually can understand or grasp on. I think we have regressed. I will say that.
yeah.
Because if you study the Mayans, they were so intelligent,
Yeah.
extremely intelligent. Even the Egyptians were extremely intelligent. They managed how to do all of these technologies without having to exploit Earth's resources. They did
Mm,
not needed the gasoline or anything of this, pollutants that we have today. They barely polluted the earth, and they still created pyramids that could sink and come back up after a certain amount of years. They built temples that will actually go accordingly to nature,
mhm,
eco-friendly structures, cities
yes.
that will have rivers go in and actually create dams for those rivers to stay in
Mm,
and feed the people. They were extremely intelligent. We have regressed. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen the image, like there's a meme making fun of humankind right now, of how we come from like the primate all the way to the caveman, and then we go to the human, the homo sapiens, and then we go to Justin Bieber, and then you see the homo sapiens walking back. We did something wrong. Remember?
what went wrong? No.
I think we have regressed rather than evolve. We have to go back, because I always tell my fiance there's some things in planet Earth that humans need to stop being cocky and
Mm,
understand that there's a lot of things we should have never discovered, like gunpowder should have never been discovered. Gasoline should have never been discovered. There's a lot of things that should have never been discovered, because at the end of the day, when you outweigh the risks of extinction versus the benefits of these advancements, it does not outweigh the benefits, doesn't outweigh the risks. So why in actual hell, like fracking, for example, do you actually think fracking should have been something that we should have discovered? Of course not. We're eroding coastlines left and right because of fracking. We're literally about to create like a lot of stuff because of fracking. We're damaging and actually tampering with our core, basically what someone was saying happened in Mars when we do fracking, just because we want more oil. No, we should have never discovered this shit.
it seems to me like a lot of the actions we're taking, since it's so detrimental to our own survival, it seems like there's another force behind it. I didn't used to believe in all these lizard overlords, but somebody is actually behind all this. Somebody is, and if you take, there's a concept called as above, so below, and so basically, if you take the small microcosm example of a South American dictator, or an African dictator who wants to be the big fish in his little, fish tank, right? And doesn't care about the rivers, doesn't care about the oceans. just cares about his little pond, and someone comes in there and says, "Hey, here's something that will damage most of the fish tank, but we got your little bubble here that you'll be just fine, and you can have everything you want. It's all about you. If you screw over the rest of the fish in this little fish tank," and then that fish says, "Okay." So it's these dictators who they'll take millions and millions of dollars if if he sells all the land of let's say Venezuela or whatever to foreign companies for them to start doing all the fracking and oil digging and the mining, strip mining, and all these sorts of things. Yeah, who cares? At least me and my immediate family will have millions and millions of dollars. So now let's say we scale that up. We scale from the fish in the pond to a dictator in the South American country. Now let's scale it up even more to this entire planet. And we have some elites who, some foreign aliens come by and are like, "Hey, we need to terraform this planet to make it, less hospitable to humans, but more hospitable to us. We can have your little reservation here where you will be the king of the reservation. You'll have all the money you want, and you can rule over all the remaining humans who happen to survive.
It's like
But we can have the planet." I think that's the deal they made, and that's why they're fucking this planet up. And
it's
then
like
some of them, like Richard Branson, is looking into, hey, let's go to Mars because this planet's going to be fucked up and ruled over by, beings that don't need clean water and clean air and all these sorts of things.
it's like
That's
the Cree Indian prophecy when they
the what
say
prophecy?
the Cree Indian and they
Yeah,
say
I've heard it
only
before.
only when the
The
last
road
tree
to
has been
stone and all
cut.
that.
No, when they say only when the last tree has been cut down, what's the other thing? The last fish have been caught and the last stream poison, will we realize we cannot eat money? You know, it's basically that mentality. It's only until manhood and mankind exhaust planet Earth of all of its resources that then we will understand. We cannot eat money. We have to actually put stuff back into the earth. You
Yeah.
know, and that is something that, oh my god, it's so cringe because you have seen. I don't know if you guys are aware of what this corporations in the US is doing with the Arawakan community. This is the last of our people living down in the Amazon,
Wow.
and they had to these corporations wanted to take their lands for resources. And you guys know the Amazons are basically the lung of the West hemisphere. It's the
Wow.
only thing that's keeping our air quality decent enough for us to be alive. So basically, without it, I don't know how the quality of our air is going to be any decent. So basically, you have the Arawakan people living in there, the last, I think, 10,000 of them. So, basically, they wanted to just appropriate themselves with their land and start, demolishing trees and the jungle, basically. So, what they did is that they sued these corporations because that's their sacred land and they won. And what happened next? All of a sudden, they started getting a lot of fires and losing their land.
Wow.
I'm like, is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Oh man, these people. I'm gonna shut up, man.
And that's literally the last. The Tainos are Arawakan. Caribs are Arawakan. This is the last of our people. And they want to exterminate them.
Jesus Christ.
It's so crazy. It's so like it's disgusting.
This is what their plans are, and this is how they regard us. This is how they regard us, the black and brown people of the world. That's how
Well,
they regard us.
it goes deeper than that.
Because remember, I guess that they're trying to do away with them like the Tasmanians. There are no more Tasmanians. They're all
Yeah,
dead.
The
they're
thing
they're
about it, it's
basically.
not just black and brown. It's like anyone who's not in that 1% elite.
Mhm.
That's the thing. So not even so-called white people they give a fuck about, because if you really look at the way they move, when they want an area, they go in and take it. They don't give a fuck who's living there. They're gonna find a way to take that land away from the people and do with it whatever they want, whether those people are black, white, or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's really the way they see the world. It's like you're either part of this elite group or you're not.
That's why I love a lot, the concept of superheroes. You have Bro Tip here that, it's using Thanos as his avatar for you know but let's say, for example, that's why I always, I'm very I push through the criticism and stuff so that people can understand. Unless we become the wealthy, the prosperous, and the successful, and we become a part of the quote unquote elite ourselves, we cannot dictate how the world's gonna be developed. We can't protect our people if we are not becoming the top tier individuals that are ruling this shit. So when I see people telling me, oh, the focus must be in breeding babies, no, motherfucker.
Hmm,
You don't want to create more victims of this bullshit. What you
hmm.
want to do is become them so that you can dictate, at least, hey, you can do all the fuckery in your community, but not in mine.
Wow.
And it's like I said, that's one thing that irritates me the most when I see these morons trying to say money is not important. She's just raised evangelical. She has made money her god. And I was like, show me where money is not how the world runs. When the world runs on making babies or the Catholic Church, and that's our form of currency, then I'll follow that. But in the
The Catholic
meantime,
Church has trillions of dollars. Like, I
yes,
don't think you guys know
exactly.
how rich they are. Like,
Wealthy.
they own
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of land too. They own a
But you
lot
know
of
what's
land.
cra- but you know what's crazy, Pocho? Last year they got like a lot of PPP loans from the United States. And you know what's
Uh huh.
crazy is that they did not have to pay a lot of stuff when they were sued. They created a fund because what the
Right.
Catholic Church did was that they decided to just become like this disenfranchised little units all across the world. So basically, if something happens to you, this specific cathedral, let's say, for example, you cannot sue the Vatican because the
Mhm.
Vatican basically sells the franchise of the Catholic Church to whoever wants to put a church somewhere. So you
Mhm.
have to sue that specific church, and that church can say, "Hey, we only have $7 million, so out of
Mm.
that, we can give you like 100,000." And that's how they have stayed in business. They're a business.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when it comes to the Catholic Church. When we talk about the oligarchies out there, the elites that control our planet. I see the Roman Catholic Church as a big part of that. I don't know about you guys, but nobody really talks about them. People are always talking about the bankers or certain families like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all that. And all that stuff is good. It's good information, but like look at how much land the Roman Catholic Church owns. Look how much money they have. You're telling me that they're not a part of anything. You know what I'm saying? When they have
No,
all these
they're not part of
riches,
it. They run it.
Yeah, they
right?
I don't
They're
know.
not part of it. They run it.
Look, I don't know if
That's
you
their
guys.
shit.
No, but bro, tip, I'm pretty sure you've heard of theories like the Jesuits are in control of everything. The Jesuits control the Western politics and
Hmm.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you see any evidence of that, or
man. I think it's a matter of jurisdiction. I think there's somebody above all of them, right? And I think all these things. There used to be a zeitgeist out there where they had all these different conspiracies, and people were out there arguing. No, it's not this conspiracy. This crackpot conspiracy is not true. My
right?
crackpot conspiracy is true.
Yeah,
Right? Well, the
but
bad news is it's all true. All of it. It's just that we have to find out how the pieces all fit. I think it's a big puzzle and
yeah,
they all fit. These people,
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I think Denise was going to say something.
yeah. I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
contribute to what Portia was saying. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sinead O'Connor.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
So, do you guys
Mhm.
remember
Who?
how
Sinead
Sinead,
black?
O'Connor.
Sinead, okay, we get it, Pocho. You're young.
Okay, so basically, she's she's a singer, and I don't know if you guys are familiar on how she became canceled. She did an SNL, a Saturday Night Live presentation,
She
and
shouldn't have said that shit.
she picked. I put it on my Instagram like a few months ago.
Bro, Tep, are you eating like a McDonald's burger or something? Like, what's what's all that
Oh, my
noise?
bad. Onion rings.
he's
Oh,
eating
okay, cool,
the
cool.
tenant's pizza. But anyway, so like I said, basically what she did was that she picked Bob Marley's War song. I don't know if you guys have listened to the song War by Bob Marley. I'm a huge Bob Marley fan anyway. But Truth, have you heard War?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically
No, it was more than that song. She said some other shit.
no,
was,
she grabbed the Pope's picture
Yeah.
and basically blamed him for all the stuff that she was singing on that Bob Marley
she knows the truth.
song. And she was
And
like,
she
she called
ripped it.
him the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, when she ripped that in mainstream TV at the time, there's no social media. She
Yep.
cannot, she's not the owner of the narrative of how people are going to spin this, right? It was only news and paparazzo and stuff like that. So basically, when she did that, they canceled her. People started trying to cancel her because she went after the mighty church. And if you think about it, the same thing happened to Henry VIII. I get it. I don't agree with what he did to Anne Boleyn and, even Jane Seymour, even though he said he loved her and stuff. But to be honest with you, he was the first monarch that actually said, you know what, fuck the church. I want to do what I want to do, even if it's not right, because it's what I want to do. I'm a fucking king.
Well,
And
Right.
before that,
even though it was his really twisted, but
before
still,
that, yeah,
know.
these countries were killing people that did not profess the Catholic Church. Did the Catholic Church came to their aid? Of course not. And I remember I had a friend, he's from Puerto Rico too, he even living here in San Gabriel, California, and he got pissed when I posted her singing that and ripping that picture. And I was like, oh, fuck you, like at the end of the day, I don't condone the Catholic Church. And he's like, oh, the Catholic Church is not the same that it was, they taught me about Jesus Christ and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, bye. Because he was like, oh, at the end of the day, who cares about the Taínos? At the end of the day, Caribs, Mayans, Aztecs, and Taínos were killing each other. And I was like, come on, man. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things
Yeah.
They took
going
they
on.
took Sinead O'Connor and went.
Yeah. Like I wish
Right.
we would not get a copyright strike so you guys can watch what she did. But to be honest with you, go and watch it, like her SNL. And she was banned from SNL for life.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But truth be told, she was saying a whole lot of stuff that she ought not have been saying for years. She's been a very outspoken against the Catholic Church and all these sorts of institutions. And when you're out there telling the truth, yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't be out here doing that. Telling the
You
truth.
know what? You all should look up on Netflix. There's a movie called Spotlight. Look it up. That shit will let you know, like, just give you a clue as to how powerful the Catholic Church is and how they run shit.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying because I've for many years, people have been arguing about who's actually in charge, It's this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I think that the Roman Catholic Church, they're involved in a lot of transnational affairs, political affairs and things like that. I think that a lot of governments do owe some of their resources all the way back to the Pope or to the Catholic Church. Somebody's running it. I don't know who, but somebody's running it, and they're on top of everything.
It's the juice. The juice.
Apple juice.
Catholic Jews, bro. You know what's so interesting about that is that the yarmulke that a lot of Jewish people wear, some people think that comes from like the Catholic Church with the Pope. You know how he wears his own like little yarmulke or the little hat thing that some people have kind of traced that back to.
Look, man, they all gotta go kiss that ring. All right. Whether you're any mom or pastor, priest, you gotta go kiss that ring.
That should be something to bring up to Rancho the next time he talks about small hats. Ooh,
Right. No, you know what book I think Rancho, I think that because they love the Catholic Church, like they worship the Catholic Church, you know what I'm saying? They think that the Catholic Church is above everything, right? And nobody could question the Catholic Church. But you know, one book that he really should read is Vatican Assassins. Because in that book, Vatican Assassins, it's a big book. It's like
Sounds
1,200
badass.
pages.
Vatican
Yeah,
assassin.
Vatican Assassins. It supposedly goes through evidence that the Jesuits and the Knights of Malta assassinated a lot of political figures that supposedly ran against the church. But uh, one thing that's noteworthy to document, you know how all these people like to talk about, well, at least I know this anyway, they like to talk about the CIA and all that stuff. What's interesting is that the founder of the CIA was a member of the Knights of Malta. And if you know anything about the Knights of Malta, they basically do the work for the Pope. They're like the guardians of the Roman Catholic Church, very similar to the Jesuits, the Knights of Malta. So if the Knights of Malta were creating a lot of these organizations like the CIA, who, you know, what does that tell you of who's really in charge?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that,
Just kind of my
I
take on
sent
it, you know?
Well,
I sent you the
so go ahead.
clip so you can listen to it through Instagram.
Hold on one second, because
It's
the all right, what is it? Yeah, but no, I'm not opening Instagram up
no,
here
no,
while
no,
I'm
no,
live
no.
streaming.
Don't open it now on
No,
here, but so you can watch it later. But to
yeah,
be honest with you, like when I listened to that stuff, I was like, oh my God, like I got like goosebumps, you know, because when you look at all this stuff that this church has done as an institution, you know who they remind me of, like in modern era, if we're going to compare the Catholic Church to the
the mafia.
Scientology.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Scientologists. So, well, basically, they're a
Yeah.
mob because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you think the Catholic Church obtained all of their wealth?
Mm-hmm.
It was through money of the gold. Most of the gold that they have right now comes from colonial years. Let's be honest, you know, and
Right.
also all these kings giving
Wait, can you
them.
guys hear me? I just want to, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we
Okay,
can.
We can
so
hear. We can
I
hear.
looked up the founder of the CIA. His name is William J. Donovan, and he was the strategic officer over at the OSS when the
What's that?
OSS used
Yeah.
to be the CIA.
In the 40s
William
and
J. Yeah,
or
yeah, William
30s
J.
and 40s.
Donovan,
Mm-hmm.
and he is regarded by many to be the founder of the CIA, Central of Intelligence Agency.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
only another thing I wanted to say when it comes to the Catholic Church is that if you look at Constantine and when he started the whole, movement of Christianity, quote unquote Christianity, if you look at all the saints of the Catholic Church, for all the people that are like fanatics of the Catholic Church, they all have comparisons to Egyptian gods. Every single saint of the Catholic Church is an Egyptian god, and it goes back to what you and Posho were saying before, Brotep, how this white supremacists have always existed, and they just copy paste what other
Mm-hmm.
ethnic groups do to actually, appropriate themselves with it and capitalize on it. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, look it up. Every saint of the Catholic Church is an Egyptian god,
Hmm.
and they serve a purpose. They all serve a purpose. So I'm like, what are we worshiping?
Hmm.
Literally, it's crazy.
Yeah, and again to touch on what Pocho was saying, yeah, the church. I don't think that. Um, I think they run things. I think they run it, and then the pieces like fit together. And I think they're at the top of whatever that hierarchy is. And there are something like maybe 7 families that run the United States and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And something like 6 companies, six major companies own every other company. If you go down the line,
Hmm.
Yeah,
it's scary stuff.
it is.
Look, I'm
But
happy
even
to
that,
live in this world. Look, if we were born in some other time, right, when life expectancy was lower, we didn't have the advances in medicine that we have, right, and things like ice cream. Truth Teacher went out for ice cream. If Truth Teacher was around in the time of the Arabian sultans when they ruled the world, truth teacher could probably have his tongue cut out for enjoying ice cream because confectures were supposed to be for royalty, the sultans and the, caliphs and all these people. How dare you, peasant, right? But now we live in a time when there's more egalitarianism in terms of classes, so that's fine and that's great. But at the same time, we're living in a time when all these conspiracies, they're real, and it's very scary stuff where they can make people disappear. There's so many deaths and so many people getting fired. Did you guys hear about, okay, drinking milk? Because a lot of my family grew up on farms, we know that drinking milk is beneficial for you, but it's the right kind of milk, right? There's Monsanto milk out there,
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and these guys, these Canadian reporters, they got fired for the expose. Give me a second. I think it's just about old enough that I may not get a copyright strike for it. Give
In
me a
Puerto
second here.
Rico, they have made so many farmers sick just by being farmers for them because of their chemicals.
Hmm.
And to be honest with you, in my opinion, right, this is just my personal opinion, so a disclaimer. I believe that the reason why everything traces back to the Catholic Church is because they were the first ones that came with this concept of, um, one enterprise to rule them all. So
Hmm.
everybody was granted like a chunk of this and actually copy pasted that into corporations, into governments and everything else. But they all like kind of like pled, like a loyalty to the Catholic Church because they were the biggest institution that had so many branches all around, and
Yeah,
they
that's what
were,
I'm saying.
yeah, definitely. And they had ties to all the crowns. So of course, this is the most powerful enterprise of ancient and also modern era. And for to
Hmm.
respond to like what Blood Moon is saying, Blood Moon, there's so many schools and churches closing because like I explained before, I don't know if you were here, the Catholic Church does not operate as one unit. They basically operate like a franchise. So it's like, how you see one McDonald's all fucked up, but then the next McDonald's is very modern and has a Mac cafe, basically because McDonald's just sells the franchise to somebody and you have to pay like a monthly fee in order for you to make like $1 million a year. It's the same thing with the Catholic Church. They operate as a franchise because they are an enterprise. So many of them are going to fail while others are going to thrive depending on their location, the support, and the bad reputation or good reputation.
In a world economy where information is filtered by global media corporations, keenly attuned to their powerful advertisers, who will defend the public's right to know? And what price must be paid to preserve our ability to make informed choices?
What Fox Television told us was that we were just the people to be the investigators.
Do any stories you want, ask tough questions, and get answers. So I thought, this is great. This is a dream job. Fantastic. The very first thing they had us do was not to research stories, but to shoot this promo, which was the investigators.
Uncovering the truth, getting results, protecting you.
And they had a film crew and a smoke machine. We were silhouetted.
One of the first stories Jimmy came up with was the revelation that most of the milk in the state of Florida and throughout much of the country was adulterated with the effects of bovine growth hormone, the artificial hormone that farmers were injecting into their cows so that they would produce more milk.
With Monsanto, I didn't realize how effectively a corporation could work to get something on the marketplace. The levels of coordination they had to have. They had to get university professors into the fold. They had to get experts into the fold. They had to get reporters into the fold. They had to get the public into the fold. And of course, the FDA, let's not leave them out. They had to get the federal regulators convinced this was a fine and safe product to get it onto the marketplace. And they did that. They did that very, very well.
It's a great time to be a high-producing cow. Pause at one step. Bovine somatotropin by Monsanto.
The federal government basically rubber stamped it before they put it on the marketplace. The longest test they did for human toxicity was 90 days on 30 rats.
Oslac is the single most tested new product in history, and is now available to you specifically so you can increase your profit potential.
And then either Monsanto misreported the results to the FDA, or the FDA didn't bother to look in depth at Monsanto's own studies.
The scientists within Health Canada looked very carefully at bovine growth hormone and came to very different conclusions than the Food and Drug Administration in the U.S. did.
Isn't Bill Gates a shareholder of Monsanto?
Did not comply with safety requirements, could be absorbed by the body, and therefore did have implications for human health. Mysteriously, that conclusion was deleted from the final published version of their report.
They knew there were problems. They saw serious potential human health problems, and they stood up in Canada and said, we're not going to approve this because we don't believe it's safe.
We have been pressured and coerced to pass drugs of questionable safety, including the RBST. I personally was very concerned that there's a very serious problem of secrecy, conspiracy, and things of that nature, and something needs to be done.
The FDA was then on the hot seat. They had to come up with an answer. They didn't come up with a good one, and they never took the opportunity then. I mean, what would they do? Pull it off the market and say, we need to now do the job that we didn't do the first time? They didn't do that.
We wrote the story. We had it ready a week beforehand. They bought ads.
Farmers in the milk industry say it's safe, but studies suggest a link to cancer. Don't miss this special report from the investigator.
That Friday night before the Monday this series was to begin, the fax machine spit out a letter from this very high-priced lawyer in New York that Monsanto had hired. It contained a lot of things that were just off the wall false, just demonstrably false. But if you didn't know the story and you didn't know how he had gone about producing it, would have scared you as a broadcaster, as a manager.
And they decided that they would pull the story and they would just check it one more time.
But the bottom line was that there was no factual errors in that story. Both sides had been heard from. Both sides had had an opportunity to speak.
1 week later, Monsanto sent the second letter. And this was even more strongly worded. And it said there will be dire consequences for Fox News if the story airs in Florida. And this time they freaked. They were afraid of being sued, and they were also afraid of losing advertising dollars at all of the stations owned by Rupert Murdoch. And he owned more television stations than any other group in America. And that's 22 television stations. That's a lot of advertising dollars for Roundup, aspartame, NutraSweet, and other products.
So we got into a battle. And the first deal was the new general manager.
And his name's Dave. And Dave is a salesman. And, you know, he'd pump your hand. How you doing? How you doing?
Called us upstairs to his office. And he said, what would you say if I killed this piece? What if it never ran? And we said, well, you know, we wouldn't be very happy about that. And he said, well, I could kill it, you know. And we said, yes, of course, you're the manager. You could kill it. It would never air. And he's hemming and he's hawing and he's back and he's forth. And we couldn't figure out, what is this all about? And finally he blurted out, look, would you tell anybody? You know, I'm going to lie for you. About a week later, calls us back to the office and says, okay, we'd like you to make these changes. In fact, you will make these changes. We said, well, look, let us show you the research that we have that shows that this information you want us to broadcast isn't true. To which he replies, I don't care about that. I said, pardon me? And he said, well, that's what I have lawyers for. Just write it the way the lawyers want it written. I said, you know, this is news. This is important. This is stuff people need to know. And I'll never forget, he didn't pause a beat, and he said, we just paid $3 billion for these television stations. We'll tell you what the news is. The news is what we say it is. I said, I'm not doing that. And he said, well, he said, if you refuse to present this story the way we think it should be presented, you'll be fired for insubordination. I said, I will go to the Federal Communications Commission and I will report that I was fired from my job by you, the licensee of these public airwaves, because I refused to lie to people on the air. And it's thank you very much. You'll hear from us right away. Well, 24 hours came and went and we didn't hear a thing. And about a week later, he calls us back, and now we've changed strategies. How about if we pay you some money and you just go away? And I said, how much money? Because, you know, when somebody offers to bribe you like that, I always want to know if it might be worth it.
He was going to offer us the rest of our year's salary if we agreed not to talk about what Monsanto had done, to not talk about the Fox corporate response in suppressing the story, and to not talk about the story. Not talk about BGH again, anywhere. Not take the story to. And he said, "Are you going to sign?" And we said, "Nah, Dave, we're not going to sign that." And he said, "Well, send it back, okay?" I said, "No, Dave, we're not going to send that back."
It was, okay, we can't buy you out. We can't shut you up. Let's get the story on the air in a way that we can all agree it will go on the air. And we started rewriting and editing with their lawyers.
Well, during this 8-month re-review process, I say jokingly, they did things like, for example, they wanted to take out the word cancer. You don't have to identify what the potential problem is, but just say human health implications. Any criticism of Monsanto or its product, they either removed it or minimized it. And it was very, very clear, I would say, almost every edit they made to the piece, that was the aim.
And we changed this and this and this, and then that wasn't good enough. Okay, now change this and this and this. Now change this and this. Version after version after version, 83 times.
83 times is unheard of. It doesn't happen. You shouldn't have to rewrite something 83 times. Obviously, they didn't want to put the thing on the air, and they were trying to drive us crazy and get us to quit or wait until the first window in our contract so that they could fire us.
They, in effect, announced that they were going to fire us for no cause. Well, this was a little much.
And Steve wrote a letter to the lawyer in Atlanta, whose name is Carolyn Forrest, the Fox corporate lawyer.
And I said, you know, this isn't about being fired for no cause. You're firing us because we refused to put on the air something that we knew and demonstrated to be false and misleading. That's what this is about. And because we put up a fight, because we stood up to this big corporation and we stood up to your editors and we stood up to your lawyers and we said to you, look, there ought to be a principle higher than just making money.
And she wrote a letter back and said, "You are right. That's exactly what it was. You stood up to us on this story, and that's why we're letting you go." Big mistake. Big mistake. That says retaliation. You can't retaliate against employees if they're standing up for something that they believe is illegal, that they don't want to participate in. So that gave us the whistleblower status that we needed in the state of Florida to file a whistleblower claim against our employer.
What Fox neglected to report is this. Jane sued Fox under Florida's whistleblower statute, which protects those who try to prevent others from breaking the law. But her appeal court judges found that falsifying news isn't actually against the law. So they denied Jane her whistleblower status, overturned the case, and withdrew her $425,000 award. Canada and Europe have upheld the ban on RBGH, yet it remains hidden in much of the milk supply of the United States.
Yo, you know you guys are not live, right?
We're not live?
What?
No,
What do you mean?
It got blocked.
What got blocked?
That's funny.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not,
okay.
I'm not playing.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, bro?
What do I mean? Go to your thing. See, you're not live, dude.
All this time we weren't live?
No, you got your things got blocked. Go to the live. Go watch. Refresh it. Told you.
Oh shit.
Fox News gotcha. Fox News
Oh.
gotcha.
Oh damn, bro.
Oh.
Whoa. Rap, then how did you jump on? How did you jump on?
No. I mean, the room is open. It's just it's not.
The room,
I don't think it's copyright game, fam. Daniel says copyright. It's not.
No,
This ain't about no damn
It's
copyright.
It's not copyright. It says it right there. For policy violations.
Wait, but how? Like, how does this violate the policy?
Too much information, dude. I don't know.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Hey
Yeah.
man, if I disappear tonight, you know, y'all know what happened. You feel me?
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Hey,
dude.
Illuminati, yo, I don't want no smoke, Chief. I
Right,
don't want
right.
no problem, G.
And I was gonna show somebody. I was gonna link something in the private chat so everybody could see something interesting about the Vatican, but never mind, I guess.
Yo,
Yo, there's an echo. That's an echo. That's an echo. That's an echo.
from whom?
Yo, there's an echo. That's an echo. That's an echo. I think there's a delay.
Okay.
There's a delay, I think.
Yeah, it was a delay.
From whom?
I don't know. I got perfect Wi-Fi, so it's not me. I got perfect Wi-Fi up here, bro.
I guess that's the end of that. I guess that's the end of that.
My bad. You guys
First the other stream with the BET and the SpongeBob, and now this one.
Wait.
Well,
I think
those were copyright strikes.
I think you guys are back.
We're back?
Hold on. Let me see. Because that's the echo that I was hearing. I think it was because of the playback. Let me see.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are back. Yeah, you guys are
We're back?
Yeah.
Okay, hey everybody, sorry about the interruption. Brotep just had to calm himself a little bit because he was getting too shifty with the information. But we're back now, and our masters told us that we are not going to be showing any information about anything secret or conspiratorial or nefarious.
I done warned you, bro. Step. We's warned you, bro. Tap.
Holy
right.
shit.
So let's go back to talking about Cam 123 and Fighter and Blood Moon and all those people.
Things of non-importance.
Bro, was I told you don't go pissing Massa off.
Yo,
don't piss Massa off, bro.
Sorry for the minor inconveniences, people.
Daniel, this ain't nothing to do with copyright strike. This is some other shit.
Yo, guys,
no, but it said policy. It said policy violation, and I'm like, but what specifically? That's kind of weird.
All I gotta say, bro, Tap, is you pissed Master off, bro, Tap. You pissed Master off. Now, what's Weez gonna do?
Yo. Oh,
that was
shit.
crazy, dude. That was crazy.
Yo, what the fuck just happened?
Yo, you got taken down. You took the shit off, and then they put you back on.
That's crazy. I don't think I've seen that do to anybody else. That's crazy.
And the echoes with nobody with extra tabs on.
Oh my God!
Look, man. Hey, again. You know, if something happened to me, just
But you guys know the deal.
No. I mean, look, man.
Look, here. So I'll talk to you guys again another time, man.
All right, cool.
Peace out, truth.
All right, man. Everybody, be good.
All right.
Yeah, we'll try. We won't talk about anything conspiratorial anymore. Our masters made it clear that they don't want any of that stuff getting out there.
All right. Peace.
All right.
That's right, Massa. That's right. We ain't gonna be talking about no conspiracies, Massa.
What in the fuck? Yo.
Ain't that some shit, bro?
Has that ever happened to you? Because this is the first time that it's ever happened to me. I mean, like
I've never seen.
Okay, so what did it?
Listen.
Okay, hold on.
I never seen nothing like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time that I've witnessed something like this.
A stream gets taken down and then comes right back up after he finishes taking the thing off. I've never seen that.
Yeah, once I stopped the milk thing, because remember, like, well, you know what? We ain't supposed to talk about it. Okay. So
we're not supposed to talk about it.
Okay. So go back to drinking milk, everyone. Go back to drinking Monsanto milk, everyone.
That's right. Don't talk about it. That's right. Let's not piss Massa off.
Right? And the word cancer.
Okay. Let's not overdo it. Let's not mock our masters. Let's not mock them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's not mock them either.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm turning into radical coon Latino.
the radical coon. No,
That's
the
right.
the
That's right.
radical Latino.
We shouldn't.
Radical Latino.
We shouldn't piss Massa off. Now let me do a jig. Let me do a jig. Oh man.
No, but yeah, I've never seen that happen ever. I don't know what happened. It just said stream violation or something, some violation. I don't know, but whatever.
The radical Latino.
Wait, maybe it was copyright, bro. Maybe it was copyright. Is that possible?
It would have said copyright. It would have said
Yeah,
copyright.
and plus copyrights, like they they would have they wouldn't have said anything. It was just I would see the thing when I hop back on YouTube and check the status, the analytics. It would say copyright claim. That's all it would say. It wouldn't do anything else. So I guess this live was moot. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna shut down this live. Everyone show up. I'm gonna open another live, and you guys can hop on back on that one. Let me shut this one down.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.